Hello and welcome to the Inbetween podcast. I'm user host Joe Scott and I'm joined by Tony Tones at RT. Are you Tony?
Hello, I'm doing well. I'm being told by Twitch that the Prime Gaming is being shown.
Prime Gaming. This week we're going to talk about anime of the summer season. We're going to be talking about anime of the fall season, which we've both watched at least one show of. I'm going to be talking about the iPhone 17, the Apple Watch Series 11, and the AirPods Pro 3, which I have here and have been using for a few weeks now. And also, they fixed Mario Kart World. Finally, they fixed it.
Oh yeah. How about them?
Tony, what are you talking about this week?
On G5 OLED? Question mark?
Tony has joined the OLED gaming gang. You'll love to see it.
I've technically gamed on it, but not properly. I was using my Steam Deck.
I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to bring my Switch 2 down, and we'll do some real, They fixed Mario Kart World. Game. It's the perfect time to boot it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we just get straight. So you've been moving house recently.
Yep.
Which means you've been buying a ton of stuff for your new house.
Yeah, I'm out of money this month. I'm done. Wait for next month now. I mean, I'm not even halfway through this month, so a bit concerning. But yeah, no, it's. I originally was like, I don't need a TV and sofa. Then I remembered my plan of having Steam Deck, like emulated gaming, and like it'd be nicer to do it on a TV instead of like on the computer monitor. There's actually as well, like if I've got ripped Blu-rays on a Jellyfin server. Not on its own server, it's on my computer at the moment, but the idea is to have it on NAS. I was like, that'd be nice to do on the TV as well. I knew I wanted a reclining sofa of some kind, so it's in the picture you can see it's an electric reclining sofa. You can't quite see the controls; it didn't quite have the space.
Well, here's the sofa which you asked me to provide links to, and the quote-unquote corner TV unit, but you said specifically I'm not using it as a corner unit.
Yeah, the problem is the normal. There's like a long one which wouldn't fucking fit. So there's like a normal one and a corner unit. The normal one is just like vertically separated in two. That where am I putting my soundbar? But I might need to move the soundbar on top of it anyway. Like I might have an issue.
My dad just has the soundbar sitting in front of the TV.
Yeah, there's up-firing speakers, so I might need to do that.
Right. Okay.
But either way, I'd still rather have the vertical. I can put like you can just technically in the bottom middle, like right at the bottom, like underneath everything, is a PS3. Then there's like I've got a subwoofer and two other speakers that I think are rear speakers. I have no idea how you connect them. I have no fucking clue.
Okay.
I've just connected the soundbar through HDMI to the eARC port.
Was
that eARC?
eARC. Yeah. I have eARC on my monitor and in the TV I have in my bedroom, and I don't think I've ever used it because I always use headphones. So I've never. I don't own a soundbar, so I'd never use.
So I think. So I was saying this up a little bit last night when we were going to bed, and today, this morning. I think I've got it set up. I've also. I guess I should say. I also got I hate the name of this. The Google Streamer 4K. It's a 4K Chromecast. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I got it set up now. It's like I've got the soundbar to wake up when the TV wakes up, and I think the TV now wakes up when you turn the streamer on.
Yeah,
as far as I can tell, using the remote on the remote volume on the streamer changes the TV volume, which is then connected to the soundbar. So I think it's all working.
It's like what is it called? It's HDMI CEC, which allows things to turn HDMI devices on and off, right? So you can
it's like
the way I have it set up on my TV is I just come in, I push the power button on the Google 4K Chromecast, Google TV, whatever the fuck they're calling it these days, and you just press the power button, it just turns on the TV and the Chromecast, and then I just watch on that.
Because the TV just goes to stand by waiting for a signal, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be using that much power, as far as I can tell. Like maybe the whole thing like 5 volts, like all everything on like standby power.
Right.
According to my smart electricity meter,
Mine doesn't even
but
have like a. Mine's not even on standby. I don't think it just turns on.
it's just not
Yeah,
interesting.
it just powers on through the HDMI.
Yeah. Well, when I press the off button on the remote, I guess it needs to be on so the remote can turn it on. Like it goes just slides red. It just slides red, and then the red goes off when it's on.
Right.
If I turned it off with the wall, it would be obviously completely off. Then I was also concerned about if it needs to check and do its OLED
It's
pixel
funny.
protection. I need to leave
Yeah.
it on.
Because you had your, I guess my TV in my bedroom is an LCD, so it doesn't matter about OLED stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was telling you, I literally just did my first panel refresh on my
Yeah.
Alienware monitor. Because I think it's after because every time I turn it off, it does a pixel refresh for like 6 minutes, and then after like 9,000 hours of using it, it's like we're gonna do like an hour-long panel refresh for
That's insane.
the screen. But it's like
Yeah.
I've owned this monitor for like over a year and a half now, and I've got no burn-in, so it's been working.
Yeah. Do you still hide the taskbar?
Yeah, I do on the main display.
Okay.
But I have
Yeah.
two.
So you're doing it. You didn't think properly.
I have two other displays, and they have
Yeah.
taskbars on them. So
Yeah.
honestly, it really annoyed me at first not always being able to see my taskbar, and then I very quickly just got used to it.
Okay.
So
okay. I'm very much late seeing my taskbar all the time. Like
yeah, I just
on
don't really
both
mind.
monitors. Yeah. Fair.
If I need to see it quickly, I could just hit the Windows key or whatever.
Yeah, I think if there's a button that just like showed it until you like let go, or like, it was a toggle or something, that I'd be okay with that. I guess the Windows key, yeah, like during at the start menu and show it, but I just
yeah,
want it to just show
so
for itself.
we don't need to talk too much
Oh,
about the corner unit or the sofa, but what I find interesting is the
yeah.
OLED. You said you haven't watched anything on it yet because you didn't have any way to play anything on it other than your Steam Deck initially.
Well, yes, when I first got it, I just plugged it in. I mean, at that time, I couldn't even get the system button, so I think I messed up like which ports which HDMI I was using or something. So yeah, my first thing was I just had a dock with my Steam Deck and plugged it in. I was playing some Dead Cells. No sound was coming out. I was like, well, I mean, it looks alright. It doesn't look quite the same as the OLED on the Steam Deck. But it's trying to go from like, is it what's the
800p?
It's 800p on the Steam Deck to 4K. So it's like a lot of things wrong with that. But now I have tested. I've watched the first quarter of Blade Runner 2049.
Sorry, what refresh rate is the TV? Is it 120? Is it 144? What it?
I've got 4K 60. I think you can go 1080 higher.
Oh, it's only 60 hertz panel.
At 4K, I think. Well, it might be only 60 the whole time, actually. I thought it was higher at 1080.
I thought this TV would be like, I thought most OLEDs these days were 4K 120 by standard sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's just a processing power sort of thing. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
No, I have a 4K 60 hertz panel for my TV, and I'm like, I don't plan on doing any gaming on it, so.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess we can't play 120 hertz on the Switch 2, because it's only 60 hertz.
Yeah,
which there
the
doesn't
crazy thing
exist
is, like,
games.
I'm a 60 hertz gamer anyway. I'm a high frame rate gamer, so I probably wouldn't. I probably would.
If I was buying
I'm gonna be missing it.
Oh man, I gotta say, gaming at 4K 240 hertz. Oh my god, I love it, bro. I love the fucking input latency reductions you get from playing at such high refresh rate. It just feels so smooth, and you get. But it's also you get such good motion clarity as well.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one of the bigger visual benefits of running at a higher refresh rate when it comes to stuff like games.
I think 4K like you can get around a lot of the anti-aliasing problems as well, though. Like kind of I guess both high frame rate and high resolution is good.
All right, so what?
I've watched Blade Runner 2049 on that. I only could run I've got the 4K Blu-ray, but I put the PS3 in, so it can't read 4K Blu-rays. It's too old.
Because you've been going down this path of doing everything right, where you're like, I'm gonna buy the Blu-rays and then I'm gonna rip them and put them on a server, and then I can just watch the films that I own when I want to watch them. And but you were like, oh shit, you had an issue with your computer. You haven't got like Jellyfin set up or anything, so you're like, I don't actually have a way to watch Blu-rays on my TV right now, other than your PS3, which can't do 4K ones. So I was saying to you, like, what is cheaper these days, a 4K Blu-ray player or a PS5? Like, what would be the better? And it seems like the 4K Blu-ray player is still
definitely PS5. Yeah,
but
I don't know what's happened. It's like trying to expensive.
They've increased the price of the PS5 because you need a PS5 with a disc drive, because that's the whole point. You want the Blu-ray disc drive, but it would also be nice to have a PS5 to game and do stuff on, right?
I just feel like in an alternative reality, like if it's like kind of similar to how the PS3's like life cycle when the Slim came out, like it should be the Slim version with the disc drive should be slightly more expensive than the Blu-ray player. It's like it should be like $350, and it's just not.
I also wanted Tony to buy a PS5 so I could play Astrobot on it. That was my
I also want to play Astrobot. To be fair, I think that looks really cool. One thing. Oh, actually, that reminds me. On my PS3, I have 4 installed games on there.
What did you have?
I have. I can't remember the other ones. There's one.
Infamous.
I remember.
Sackboy.
No, I've got. No. What I can't remember the name of is it's like a alien bug turret power defense game. I remember the name of that. The other 3 are much more interesting. I've got Stardust, which is like a
I actually do want to play Stardust.
Twin stick shooter like asteroids game.
Yeah.
I've got Wipeout, so we can play Wipeout.
Yeah, that's sick.
And I've got Ratchet and Clank Quest for Booty.
Based game. Love that one.
I've not tested that.
Wait,
the other 3 loaded up. I've not tested that.
Wait, do you have discs still for your PS3 games? Because I have.
Yeah,
I have the Ratchet and Clank games on PS3 on disc.
Yeah.
Here.
So do I.
You have all of them. Wait, let me go check.
Yeah. I think I've got. You might have a couple that I don't have, but I think I have all of them. Like some of the newer ones. But I've definitely got like Tools of Destruction. I've got Nexus. I've got Tracking Time. And I have the PS2 what do you call it? Remade? Not remade. Remastered for PS3. I've got all of those. That technically means I don't have Deadlock. I think it's the 4th original PS2 title. I think I don't have that. Yeah, I think. We haven't the image up, but on the previous photo that was up, to the right of the subwoofer, there's like all my PS3 games and some other stuff, but mainly PS3 games stacked there. So we've got Sackboy.
They were right at the back of my wardrobe. My Switch games were up in front and center, but
overrated. You're not playing your PS3 anymore.
No, I don't even have it plugged in. I don't think, but I've got.
Yeah. My bigger issue with the PS3, I've got 2 controllers, but both the batteries are dead.
I've got Quest for Booty as well. I've got.
So you have a disc version. I have Quest for Booty as a digital only version.
And for some reason, I have Burnout Paradise Ultimate Edition.
Oh, I don't have that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to do some PS3 gaming, we can do some PS3 gaming.
Yeah. I mean, my ultimate plan is to have this all emulating on something. I know it's not very good on a Steam Deck right now.
Oops, I pressed the wrong button. We're playing the intro again briefly.
Yeah.
We're back. We're back.
And my background plan was like if it was efficient and well emulating PS2 and PS3 games on the Steam Deck. I know PS2 is better than PS3 on the Steam Deck, but that's my grand plan.
Honestly, you're better off playing PS3 games on a PS3 than you are on a Steam Deck, I think.
Yeah,
At least
I have
when
it
I last
set up,
checked.
right.
But the PS3 starts to get quite heavy on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, there were improvements at the beginning of this year, but I think it's still difficult. So there's always like some.
I can say from personal experience, PS2 is great.
Yeah.
I think GameCube is fine. I've never tried it. Wii is great. Wii U is great. Switch is great.
Yeah, Switch being great is interesting.
Yeah, Switch is pretty freaking great. It's just because like Switch has so much modern programmers working on it constantly.
Yeah, that's fair.
That it just like leapfrog past like some of the older consoles.
You don't have to emulate the older ways of doing it, or even like the weird implementations that Sony have. Yeah, that's true. That's fair. Yeah, last time I looked, PS2 was like running solid, and then like there was some improvements to the PS3 code under the hood, but it was still heavy. So it was more playable. But I'm not trying it myself. So
I mean, PS4 has been skyrocketing recently because of the Bloodborne emulation push that people have been wanting.
Oh yeah. I completely forgot about that. I would love to play Bloodborne. I've not played it properly. I've only played it around someone else's for a little bit, like and died a lot.
That's the way. That is the way.
You've got to use any controller. I have to use PS3 controllers. That's also a big thing. I'm actually personally okay with the DualShock controllers. I actually quite like them. They're not. To me, they're like deep. Like I know people complain like they say like it digs into them. I don't have that problem, but the PS Sense controller is still better.
The DualSense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer the DualSense because of ergonomics. I think it is the nicer controller to hold.
But I don't have a problem with the DualShock controllers. Like I think it's better, but I don't. I still I prefer the DualShocks over the Xbox controller, for example.
Yeah, I think my favorite controller I ever held is the Xbox Elite Series 2. I think it just feels the best in the hand. Honestly, surprisingly, the Switch Pro controller is a fucking nice controller. The Switch controller is nice. I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I do, but it's a really great controller.
It was pretty good when I used it for that one race. Was that one race? And I think I probably did.
I mean, we can play some more Fast Fusion if you want.
Or on the OLED. Fast Fusion versus Wipeout.
Yeah.
I mean, the music on Wipeout.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, so the PS3 has HDMI then? Is that how you have it hooked up?
Yeah. It's just HDMI. It's probably an old HDMI 1.0.
You were saying like, oh, I only had one HDMI cable. That's insane.
I did find more.
Okay.
I did find more. I had a secret stash apparently in a drawer.
Because I'm guessing
that's what confused me.
I'm guessing this TV has HDMI 2.1 support. If it's a newer one,
I assume so. I think all my cables are 1.4 though.
Okay.
I haven't got any new.
Anything else you want to say about the TV before we go into your game that you've been playing?
No, I think that was it. It's just and also more stuff to do. I just want to watch some spooky movies. I will say this. I just mentioned it. I'm not going to get into it until I've watched it. I have opinions. I bought. I don't know if you. I don't think you really knew this before I told you the other day. I bought some CG Resident Evil films.
Yeah, which I said I had no idea CG Resident Evil films existed. I have seen the awful. Is it
the live action?
The live action. Is it? Who does that? Is it? It's not Evil Bowl or someone. Who is it? Resident Evil.
I'm not going to direct his name. So.
Film. Who directs?
But is that where he plays? Is his wife?
Oh, the Paul W.S. Anderson. Yeah, and he puts his wife. What's her name? Mila Djokovic in all the films.
Yeah.
But yeah, those films are something. They are something.
they are something. They're definitely B-movie too.
Yeah.
But But yeah, I would watch that. I think this could be the. I watched Blade Runner again. I wouldn't watch. I mean, you see the ornithopter behind the TV. I watched Dune as well. I think that it could be so good.
Was that your first time watching Dune?
No, I've
You've
watched
seen it
Dune.
before.
I've seen Dune Part 1 on Amazon was on my monitor, and then I watched the Blu-ray.
Yeah, because you stopped
on my monitor as
subscribing
well.
to the streaming stuff, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
you have no idea if you like something until you spend like £30 on a disc of
Yeah.
it. A lot of the time, if
I went in
you've
blind
not watched it before.
on Dune Part 2. I watched Dune Part 1. I still pay for Amazon Prime, and it was on Amazon Prime Dune Part 1,
okay.
as long as the old original Dune by
I got kicked off of Amazon Prime. You hate to see it.
It's gone now. Oh, you got kicked off, yeah.
No, because I was on my dad's family plan, and they were like, you can only share this with one person now. And he shares it with my mum for delivery stuff. So me and my brother got kicked off.
I pay for my own, so it's mine. I don't know. I kind of keep buying stuff from Amazon. I probably shouldn't. But anyway, I watched Dune Part 1, and I then bought Dune Part 2 blind. It's like, I've heard it's even better, and I just want to watch it. So that's what I did.
Fair.
Bought it, watched it. I'm like, this is great. So I have both of them on Blu-ray now. Like I can watch Part 1 and Part 2 at my leisure.
Cool. And what do you think of the? What was your opinion on the OLED then, from what you've seen of it so far?
So my real test was on Blade Runner 2049. Like it seemed really good. Like the blacks being black was very good. I don't think I've got HDR set up.
Is it a bright TV? How bright is it?
I don't know. That's my thing. Is that I think it's not getting as bright as it maybe could be. Like I was told this version was like much brighter than the previous version, which is why I went for it.
Right.
Like I think it's meant because like I know the peak brightness is like a small window, but still like it's like if you compare it apples to apples, like I think it's meant to like get close like 1.5K nits.
Because my monitor is around
really bright,
1,000 nits, I think.
That's pretty common. That's my monitor as well is 1,000 nits. It's VA, not OLED, but which is already bright. But I don't think I've set it up properly. Like I feel like there's some settings I need to twiddle with like picture settings and stuff.
Right.
And I might need to like trick it or tell it to try and use the full range. Like I know HDR isn't like HDR kind of like uses the full black and white, but I wanted to try and convert SDR content to at least use more of the range than the typical SDR. I don't know if that's possible, but I don't know. I need to look into. There's probably someone on YouTube that's like done an in-depth tutorial or look into it.
You tell me about Mars First Logistics. What is this game? You said you were playing it.
Lego Kerbal Space Program buggies, I would say, with I don't know what would you call it? You know, like the rovers on Mars, right? Like just like remotely controlled by people. Like you're basically just like being the AI. Like you get given orders. You need to like move one package to another, and that you need to be like in range.
The toaster pickup. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it does look like lots of weird stuff.
It does look a lot like Lego
motors and things. Yeah, it's like Technic, I suppose. They have to like make it work the motors and like assign it to buttons and or control groups, and then try and transport it. It's kind of interesting. I think I mean, this is a me problem because like I was trying to make like the one vehicle to solve all the problems, and then it's like, I just need to keep modifying it to make it better.
You can play Rocket League. You can play Rocket League.
Yeah, I was playing with other people, and like they were both like just switching out quickly. Like, I'm just gonna immediately switch out to a completely different rover. And like, okay, that makes more sense.
Looks like you can do some pretty advanced stuff in it.
Yeah, I only played it for like an hour and 10 minutes, hour 20 minutes sort of thing. I didn't know you could fly. That's crazy.
But yeah, you were like, wait, I own this game, and then I looked at Steam and I was like, wait, I own this game as well. So it must have been in like a bundle or something.
Yeah, it must be because a friend was like, "Oh, this game looked really cool." I don't think he didn't own it
because it says
it's come out in 1.0.
Purchased the 2nd of December last year, so this must have been the Yogscast Jingle Jam bundle.
That must be 100%. Then
must have been in that.
So I already owned it. He bought it, and so yeah, I'll play it. It's a good bit of fun. Like if you enjoy roving around in Kerbal Space Program, I think you will enjoy this. There's some other games like with like the similar idea, like you build something to do stuff, either fighting or other like logistic stuff. Like it's not the only one like it, but it's pretty cool. It's very interesting.
Cool.
Kind of, at least at the start, somewhat forgiving. Like there's some tricky ones. Like we had to there's like a heavy steel girder. We had to then store vertically to hand in the mission. That was very difficult.
Okay.
I don't know what that was
Wait,
supposed
so
to
you
do.
can
The
play
most
it.
one I had, like
You can play it
we're playing
multiplayer.
co-op. Yeah, we're playing multiplayer.
Do you both build a separate vehicle, or do you build the same?
Yeah, there's three of us. We had different vehicles. You can there's like a main quest. There's like main deliveries you have to do, and there's then like side deliveries to get money to upgrade your vehicle.
Right. Okay.
The best delivery we did is I think to finish the tutorial before you start building the towers to go elsewhere, and you had to build a observation like an observatory. So you had to move the mirror.
Yeah.
So a friend was made a big I guess you'd call it like a rover dump truck sort of thing, and then the other we were everyone else was trying to move it into the bed, and then so we just then rode up a very steep hill, get it to the observatory. That was the best. That was very satisfying. It just worked.
It just worked.
Once we got it in. Once we finally got it in, didn't fuck up, and it worked.
Oh, that's cool. You're playing that. Sounds like it was pretty fun.
Kerbal Lego.
Do you want to talk about some Apple news that I've been experiencing for the past couple weeks?
Yeah.
Let's start with, okay, Tony. So I said this to you before, I was like, my phone is starting to die, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like I couldn't get through a day sort of thing, but it was very much draining battery very quickly because it's an iPhone XR, which means it was like a 7-year-old phone at this point. And it was just on the cusp of being cut off of basically you couldn't get the iOS 26 now, the newest one, because they name it after the year afterwards, right? It's the iOS 26 is the newest one.
Yeah.
So I needed that, but at the same time I was like, I would like to try a smartwatch. So I got the Apple Watch Series 11 because I use the health tracking stuff a lot because I use Strava a lot for when I go cycling.
Yeah.
And I also
is that what made you want? Is that what made you want to get it? It's like thinking about tracking cycling.
I've been tracking my sleep. I've been tracking my my health stuff, and then also I wanted something to set a timer for tea. That is what I've been using it mostly for.
Yeah,
I'm telling the time.
I really like just saying time.
Actually, it's so useful that I can walk around that, because usually my dad calls me to tell me oh, it's dinner time, or I've made you a cup of tea or something, and I don't have to constantly be carrying my phone around with me. I can just wear my watch instead.
Yeah, the three things that for my I have the Galaxy smartwatch 5.
Yeah.
I really like doing timers. I'm not a voice activated person. I know most people just tell their whatever to do it, right? I really like just manually doing it on my watch. It's just really quick. Just bring up the app and just set it, and then just turn it off on your wrist. Yeah, I really like just looking at my watch to see what the time is. I like that feel. I don't have to get my phone out. I don't when I sit down for work, I don't have my phone on. I leave it in my pocket. So I just look at my wrist. I really like that.
It has an
and I really
on display.
Yeah,
it tells the time.
Yeah.
And then if I turn it away from me, it'll start, because it's an OLED display, it'll make some of the numbers black, so it uses less power.
Yeah.
And then if you want to do it again, you just flick your wrist, or you can tap your fingers. I think you can also do this on the Vision Pro, where you can tap your fingers to go through menus and scroll through things.
Oh, does that work? Does it?
Yeah, I have used that. Yeah. The reason I went for the new one was because I was looking at the SE as well, and the previous models. The reason I went with this one was because they increased the battery life. So the battery life went from 18 hours to 24 hours. And then the water resistance went from splash resistant to it could be submerged in water.
Okay, nice.
So like I'd like to swim a lot in my pool in my garden, so I'm thinking I could track my swimming with
Just
this.
leave it on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is pretty useful. And then also at the same time, my Jaybirds Vistas 2 have they're like completely broken at this point. I needed new earphones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're like
Okay.
one headphone would like die, and then it would also be like way lower volume than the other one, and then they would
That
also
sucks.
refuse to charge, so they would constantly be running out of battery. And I'm like, I really need some new earphones. So I was like,
Yeah.
well, Tony, I'm like fully in the Apple ecosystem. I have an iPhone, I have AirPods, I have an Apple Watch. But I really like these. I was surprised how good the ANC on the AirPods is so fucking good. It's crazy good. I've used the ANC on the Jaybird Vistas 2, and I've used the ANC on the Sony headphones, but honestly, this may be some of the best ANC I've ever used. It's really good, really good.
Yeah, I think Apple have the best. I think actually the best. So.
And I went with the pros because I wanted something that would stick in my ears because they have like the normal AirPods are like flat, and then these ones have like the in-ear sort of jelly things on the end, right? So they like go right into your ears, sort of thing. And then you do like there's a physical button on the stem, which is what you click. That's why they have the stem sticking out. Because like
it's a physical.
Because like with the Jaybird, they're just like the little bud, and then you press into the bud, and you kind of press into your ear, it works fine, but it's a little bit weird pressing into your ear. But then I think like
I don't like. For me personally, I don't like having to like press or squish a button. I'd rather just tap my ear. I don't have to push in or anything. Just a haptic.
I don't see because I've used like the XM4s and the XM6s both have haptic stuff. They don't have any physical buttons other than like the power button and like the ANC button. And I would constantly be accidentally activating the touch stuff, and I hated it.
I think
like I much prefer a physical button.
I think on headphones it should be physical buttons. I completely agree. Although I still maybe have the option to have swiping, so I quite like that. But maybe have a way to like have an easy toggle. But I think on earbuds, I think just having hands, you're not really going to accidentally press it unless you're taking it in and out.
Tony, surprisingly enough, having three products that are all designed to be used together from the same manufacturer actually turns out that it works very well, and I haven't really had any issues with it. It's like because I was looking at the Pixel 10 when I was looking at. So let's talk about the iPhone. I think this is the best base iPhone they've like almost ever made.
Yeah.
And it's also probably one of the best phones that you can buy right now is the base iPhone.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at the Pixel 10, and to even match the iPhone, between the Pixel 10 and the iPhone, the Pixel 10 has some worse features and less memory. And then if you upped the memory, it was more expensive than the iPhone. Because the Pixel 10 was the phone I was looking at. I was like, oh, it has a lot of like iPhone sort of features, right?
I'm surprised the base iPhone this year is so cheap. I know it's still expensive, but like I was expecting it to be more.
Yeah,
I think that's why. I think that's the crazy thing. Like I think somewhat incremental increases. Like if you need those like upgrades, are fine. Just from year on year, but then with that and the price decrease, I think that is what makes it huge.
Yeah. So because like normally what they do is they have like a normal chip and then they have a pro chip, and then they separate those each year, right? But this phone has a new chip. It has an A19 chip instead of the A18 Pro. It has like it has a brand new chip on top of that.
Just for context, last year the Pro version had this new chip, new silicon chip, and then the normal version had last year's Pro chip. Whereas this time it's just all new, so that's really good.
But the biggest thing, so this is also the first base iPhone to have a pro display. What's it called? iPhone.
The Retina. I want to say Retina. That's the old one, isn't it?
No, it's ProMotion.
AMOLED.
ProMotion. No, I'm talking about the refresh rate.
Well, you can put. Yeah. Okay, sure.
So the base iPhone for the longest
thing as well.
The base iPhone can for the longest time has only been 60 hertz at max. And then the Pro model was the 120 ProMotion one. This one, it has a ProMotion display, so it can go from 120 hertz all the way down to 1 hertz. Then I have a always on display, so when it turns off, it basically leaves the time up, so you can just
apparently
tell time and stuff.
This is kind of this is a complete tangerine, but apparently so it's not a fully the frame rate of refresh rate, I should say, it can't like continuously change. Apparently there's like a set limit or set numbers it can be. They're pre-calculated the timings.
Yeah.
So like make it actually work. But there was an interesting way to get around the problem, because apparently it can be really hard to calculate all the timings.
Tony, I don't. What refresh rate is your phone screen? Is yours 60? Is your like a higher one?
I can't remember. It was. I have 120. I had no idea. I can quickly check.
Well, I'd say going from a 60 hertz screen to 120. I like the animations of moving around the OS. I immediately noticed it is so much nicer and snappier. Also, hot take. I like liquid glass. I'm a liquid glass enjoyer. I actually quite like it.
That's the UI look, right?
Yeah, I mean you can use this on the old iPhones because it's just part of the iOS 26. But the liquid glass display stuff is very polarizing. Some people really like it, and some people really hate it.
Okay.
But it puts like this transparency and everything, so you can still see stuff underneath it when you're like browsing stuff.
I think I like the idea of that. I think it's just for me personally, I don't think it's quite implementable what I would want. But I think more important that the options to change it to the other modes still exist, right?
The camera on this phone is bloody great. I love the camera on this thing.
Yeah, iPhones always have great cameras.
Yeah.
So.
I can shoot up to 48 megapixel on the main shooter. And they've upped.
I think more important than megapixels was like it's just really good at like the sensing technology and the way it deals with like white balance and low light, and it just.
One thing that's really cool is they changed the selfie camera to be an 18 megapixel camera, but it's a square sensor. So you can be taking a photo in portrait mode, and then somebody will come into frame and it'll like zoom out to get more people in. And then it can switch to being a vertical shot still in portrait mode. And it'll do that automatically as it detects people's faces come into the shot with this thing called center stage, and it's really cool.
I'm going to be honest. I personally think all camera sensors should be square and then just crop it in. Like I just want to take a picture that's I can do what I want with it. It doesn't need to perfectly match my phone dimensions. That makes no sense to me.
But yeah, I'm very happy with a lot of stuff on this phone. The only thing, because it was like, do you want to set up Apple Apple Intelligence? And I was like, yeah, okay. I will try Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence is fucking awful. It's not good.
My mum got a new phone with that has it on it. I don't think it's not a new one, but it's like slightly older one. But it's like we had to turn it off. It was so bad.
I mean, I think the only phones with Apple Intelligence are the 16, right? I don't think there is before that. So, but anyway, basically, it tries to summarize my notifications, and it always does an awful job. Yeah. It's like Calvin sent a photo of me as a Labubu or some shit, and it was trying to summarize it in text. He was like, you have a Discord notification. There is a man in a bunny outfit, and I'm just like, what is this? Like, and it was like Jesse was telling a story about like something he was doing at school, and it was trying to summarize it, and I was just like, this is incomprehensible. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
but it does this thing called priority notifications, where it's like this notification is really important. It should be above all the others, but it's like you have a missed call, and I'm like, I would have known that was a priority notification without you going, "Hey, you have a missed call. It's a priority."
Yeah.
I guess maybe I just don't get enough notifications that I miss missed calls through like billions of notifications, right? But
yeah, that's so
yeah,
odd,
I don't know.
actually,
I would.
but, yeah.
I might just turn it off because it's not very useful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I'll probably
Dynamic
turn it off.
Island's pretty cool. I know.
Yeah,
and that's
that's
another
good.
polarizing thing. Some people don't like
I
Dynamic
think
Island.
I'd rather have just have a forehead, but if it's going to be there like that, fine. Make an animation thing.
But yeah, I'm very happy with the current setup that I got, and yeah, iPhone 17 genuinely probably one of the best deals in getting a flagship phone right now. It's got a lot of great features, and I'm happy with getting one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep. Should we want to what games I've been playing, Tony? I have been playing Hades 2. I think I played like at least 25 hours because
really okay.
Probably
a bit, hasn't it?
Probably more because my internet went down on the last weekend.
Oh yeah.
And I was just playing Hades 2 on my computer the entire time. And when you play in offline mode, Steam's like, nah, that doesn't count.
Doesn't count. We couldn't possibly cache it and do it later.
Well, the crazy thing is when you play in offline mode, it goes, oh, you've played this much. And then you restart it and then it goes, nah, it's gone. We're literally tracking it, but we're just going to throw the information away because you're offline. Yeah. It's like, well, okay.
So dumb.
Hades 2 is hot take, really fucking good. Not a hot take. No.
Is it bad, the Silk Song? That's what everyone wants to hear.
I've not played Silk Song.
No. Yeah, right. I've not played any Hollow Knight.
Which is crazy. Because the thing is, I haven't played... Because my friend was like, are you playing Silk Song? And I was like, no. And he was like, why? And I was like, because I haven't played the first Hollow Knight game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm playing Hades 2. And he was like, why? And I'm like, because I've played Hades 1.
You should have asked the reverse question. Why wasn't he playing Hades 2?
Yeah, Hades 2 is a fucking great game. Like, the issue is I can't talk about this game in a lot of senses because there's a lot of story stuff in here. And even talking about the issue is, you haven't played the first games. There's a lot of mechanics from the first game. And there's also a lot of like mechanics that tie into the story.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But I like that there's some returning characters from the first Hades game, which I really like. There's brand new cast of characters, which I also really like. It's not. I would say, like from a gameplay sense, like when you first start playing Hades 2, you'll be like, "Oh, this feels very different," because you are a spellcaster versus a like. Zagreus is more of like a warrior who goes in with a sword and hits people a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Whereas it's much more about casting and infusing casts and infusing a mega attacks and using staffs and wands and stuff like that, right? There is more like traditional weapons that you unlock that are more like, I'm just going to go in and punch stuff. But you will immediately like notice that it feels like it plays differently. But for the most part, like initially I was like, it's very different. And then once I got into it, I was like, oh no, this is great in its own way. Like it like still has all of that Hades charm of fantastic voice acting, great story stuff, great characters, really fun gameplay. And I would say like, for me, at the minute, Hades 2, I'm like, this is being added to my games of the year list because this is like potentially one of my favorite games that has come out this year. Like Hades 2 is really good. It would be up there with stuff like, you know, Blueprints or Donkey Kong and Mario Kart.
In some sense that makes sense considering how well the first game.
Yeah, but yeah,
was loved, right?
sometimes you get like a really strong first game and the sequel's not as good.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
Hades 2 is
Yeah,
definitely
that's true.
very strong sequel, I will say.
Yeah.
Then I've also I've played a little bit of Super Mario Galaxy 2 because we got Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 remastered, quote unquote, on the Switch 2. And
You saying quote unquote? You say it's not remastered?
they have it's in 4K now, which if you owned a
Okay.
Wii, it's definitely more than 480p.
They've got higher texture quality, right?
Yeah, they did actually remaster some textures.
I think that's actually pretty.
There's an assist mode now, so you can have extra lives, sort of like how it works in Odyssey. You can have like an extra health bar, and if you fall off the edge, it can bring you back on. There is you can use button controls. So in like Super Mario Galaxy, when you wanted to do an attack, you would have to waggle the controller, and then Mario would do this spin attack. You can just press the fucking Y button on the controller now, and it just spins.
That's an improvement, yeah.
And also you can listen to the soundtrack in the game. Honestly, all they had to do was sort of just upload Mario Galaxy again in 4K, and I would be like, yeah, it's a good game. Like, but I'd never played Galaxy 2 before, so that's the one I've only played like an hour or so. I haven't played very much of it, but it's pretty fun. It's less like I've heard some people say it's better. Some people say they prefer like the atmosphere and the more sort of more like feeling of being on like Rosalina's observatory in the first game, whereas in this one you're kind of like just piloting a ship around like a level selector sort of thing. Whereas on like the first game with Rosalina's observatory, you would go to like the library and then you would shoot off onto the planets over in that section.
I did like the shooting off.
But yeah, you won't believe what Bowser's done to Peach. You won't believe what's happened.
Invited to dinner party?
Yeah, she's been stolen.
What?
So we have to go and rescue Peach again. I couldn't believe it.
It just seems like an annual thing that they just agree to do. It's just like a role-playing thing at this point.
That's why I really like the story of Super Mario Odyssey, because it's like Super Mario Odyssey is like Peach gets stolen, and then Mario's like, "I'm here, I'm rescuing you. Will you marry me?" And she's just like, "I kind of just don't want to be rescued. I kind of just want to go out and see the world for myself. Just like leave me alone." I'm just like, that's based. And then of course, so I played for about an hour. It's been pretty fun, but hopefully we will record some more Tangerines at some point when Tony's not moving house. And I also wrote down I'm a Genji main now because I've been maining Genji. I've been maining Genji in Overwatch 2. Yeah, because basically what happened was when I was playing arcade, I would play half the time in hide and seek. I would play half the time as Genji and half the time as Kiriko. But it just started like giving me, because you get these things called hero levels for when you play heroes, and I was getting tons of hero levels for Genji, and I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I just made it so it looked like Genji was my most played hero in the game, that I was a Genji main? So I was like, I'm only going to play Genji and only Genji as we play. And I just kept playing Genji, and I was like, man, Genji's really fun. And then it got to my, because they show like this was in a recent update, you have like a hero card on you when you select your character, and it shows like your most played heroes, and now it's like Genji is level 22, and he's my, and I started going to games, I would just type I'm a Genji main into the chat immediately, and I would lock in Genji, and it's the funniest thing, Tony. People absolutely lose it if you type that into the chat. I just found it quite funny.
What's their problem with it?
I got a lot of "who asked," "nobody cares," why, why would you say that? Like,
didn't you have like I'm usually a Genji main or something one time?
Sometimes I look at other people's hero cards, and then I'm like, "Are you a Genji main?" Oh, when I said I'm usually a Genji main, that's because I was playing tank for the arcade event, and I just typed in the chat, I'm usually a Genji main.
Right.
But then sometimes people, I type that, and then
but
people will just start like flaming in the chat, like rapidly. And I'm just like, bro, it's like the easiest way to trigger people in Overwatch 2 is just to type, "I'm a Genji main."
Yes, baby! That's what I've been waiting for.
But yeah, I genuinely was really enjoying playing Genji. He's really fun. So. And then I was playing arcade, and I was like, Pharah is a character I have some of the least playtime on. I was playing Pharah, and I was like, Pharah's really hard, but she's also really fun. Maybe I should play Pharah next. But yeah, stop playing that. Thanks for the subby wubby, Tones at RT.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Okay.
It's spooky season,
16-month streak. Yes.
Wait, we haven't talked about. We just started playing Minecraft recently. Well, you haven't played it yet, right?
I haven't played. Realms happened yesterday.
My friend got a Realm server, and I was like, spooky season is coming up. Maybe I should just like build a Halloween village in Minecraft for spooky season. That sounds pretty interesting. Because we're going to talk about some horror stuff, and I was like, because I haven't started spooky season yet. I've been playing Hades 2, which is a little bit spooky, but like,
yeah, a little bit, I guess, yeah.
Me and my friend have been watching Twin Peaks. So we've watched Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, which is the film, because we just finished season 2 of Twin Peaks, and then following on from that is the film. And what do I say about this, Tony?
Wait.
I feel like
hang on. Am I saying I'm putting this as the not getting right? Hang on.
We're on horror now. Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me is definitely a film of all time. Twin Peaks the TV show is very much like it like strikes this balance between like it's mostly like a parody soap opera that is very funny and lighthearted, and then has like these moments of like quiet and calm, and it's almost like a horror thing. And then Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me is like a really serious tone. It's very much more like a thriller horror thing, and I cannot explain the story to you, Tony, because it is massive spoilers for Twin Peaks the show.
Okay, right.
But they released this, and like so Twin Peaks season 1 really popular, one of the most popular shows in the world at the time. Then season 2 comes out. David Lynch is like, okay, episode 1, Laura Palmer dies. I just want to say that's not a spoiler. Everyone is like, we have to solve the mystery about who killed Laura Palmer, right? And David Lynch was like, no, I was never going to solve the mystery of who killed Laura Palmer. The whole idea of Twin Peaks is the ensemble cast of characters who interacted with Laura Palmer are really interesting. That's what the show's about. And when that's what the show's about, it's really fucking interesting. But the TV network was like, no, for a season 2, you have to solve who killed Laura Palmer. And he does in season 2, and the quality just goes meow, like off a cliff for a bit. And then Fire Walk with Me goes more into this. But like at the time when this film came out, it was really unpopular. People really didn't like this film.
When did it come out?
1992, so that would have been like a year or so after the TV show finished.
Yeah, it's quite a while ago. I mean, it's older than us.
Yeah, so Twin Peaks was in 1990. Can I see it on here? When did season 2 start? Yeah, it was 19. So it was like a couple of years after season 2 came out. And this is what I feel like David Lynch wanted to show, because like it feels like very much like he was censored with like the TV stuff, and they were like, you can't show this on television. And now with the film, he was like, this is what I wanted to show people, and it is batshit insane for a lot of it. Like the film literally starts with someone smashing a TV, and I'm like, okay, this is like quite on the nose about like not liking the TV censorship, right? It definitely has a strong story, and it definitely like ties up some. This film kind of exists in the past. So okay, Tony, this is technically a prequel, Tony,
right?
but also
Technically,
Twin Peaks stuff kind of exists with stuff that happens in the future, so it almost has some like small sequel stuff to it. Like, if you were gonna watch Twin Peaks, I would highly recommend you do not watch this first. You will be very confused.
yeah. I'd watch it when the order it came out. It released in. That's my
But yeah,
my strategy.
I think I prefer the TV show. I mean, this is very like it feels more experimental, and but after I watched this, I watched Twin Peaks: The Missing Pieces. So this came out in 2014, and this is basically a compilation. It's an hour and a half of every deleted scene from Fire Walk with Me, all put together, and to be like, hey, this is what we wanted to show in the film, sort of thing. And some of the scenes I was like, yeah, this didn't need to be in here. But a lot of the scenes, like genuinely, the film actually makes a lot more sense with a lot of these scenes if it was in it. Like,
right.
For example,
Is there
like
not an edit that puts it all together as one big thing?
Yeah, but if you did that, Tony, so Fire Walk with
3 hours
Me,
long.
yeah, it would be almost 4 hours long.
Oh, okay.
Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me is 2 hours 15 minutes. The Missing Pieces is an hour and a half.
Okay, well,
so it would be 3 hours.
Part 1 and part
minutes.
2. Part 1, part 2. Like, I still feel like edit would be worth it though.
Yeah, that's what I thought until I saw the length on the time. So
sure.
But I don't think if I was making my own version of Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, I would put some scenes like David Bowie stuff in the fucking. David Bowie plays a character in Fire Walk with Me as like an FBI agent, and he appears and he's like, and then he's like, what the fuck? And then he disappears, and you're just like, what is happening? It genuinely starts to make sense if you've seen the Missing Pieces, like deleted scenes. You're like, right. Oh, okay, that's what that character was saying, and that's why this is important. But then some of them, it's just like there's extra scenes of Laura Palmer working at the diner and talking to like, different characters, and it's just like, yeah, didn't really need this. I think all the scenes. All of the scenes where Laura Palmer's talking to her parents, I think, should have been in the film. Like establishing her relationship with her family. This was really good stuff. This should probably been in the film. But I understand, like, because in the Missing Pieces, there's a lot more weird stuff that is more like the TV show, where it's just like almost comedic David Lynch stuff. And I think it could have bogged down like the really serious, like razor pointed point and message of the film. So yeah, I mean, Tony, it's impossible to talk about this without talking about Twin Peaks. So
yeah.
But then, I've also started to watch Twin Peaks: The Return, Tony, which is season 3 of Twin Peaks.
Is it 25 years?
25 years later, which is important for the story. But like, man, like, okay, Twin Peaks season 1 and 2, there could be like a few episodes where it's like, okay, this is borderline experimental. Twin Peaks: The Return is fucking experimental. This is one of the most experimental things I've watched. Like, he did not, like, more experimental than the film, for sure. Like, there is definitely, like, entire episodes where I'm just like, what the fuck is happening right now? I have no idea what's going on. Like, they just threw everything. They were just like, we can do whatever we want. Let's do this. And it'll just be, like, an entire episode of, like, I thought my computer was breaking at one point watching the scenes of just like Coop in the Nightmare Realm, and I'm just like, what has happened?
Oh, sure.
But like,
I've seen clips of that.
I would say, like, at least at the start of Twin Peaks season 3, it's much more serious tone than the TV series. It feels like the tone feels very different to the TV series, which I really like the tone of the TV series, the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Or especially season 1. But we showed you that clip last night of the episode we're watching, where Coop comes out of the fucking nightmare realm, and he's going to the casino, and he's putting coins into the slot machine, just going, hello! And I'm just like, this is what Twin Peaks is all about. It's just... There's an episode where Coop has like almost no dialogue for the entire episode, and I'm like, this is great. I fucking love this.
This is peak TV.
Or like my friend Luke came in once when we were watching an episode, and he was like, what is going on? And I'm like, bro, genuinely, I have no idea. The arm has become the brain, and the brain is ulting right now. And I'm just like, I don't know what's happening right now. But yeah, I also like, because you were like, should I watch Twin Peaks? Like,
yeah,
interested in it. And I was like,
I like horror stuff, but I'm a bit iffy on like comedic things. Like most, I know it's not comedy.
Comedy.
I just find a lot of stuff like I don't quite jive with.
Well, I would say like, because I said to you, I was like, if you watch the pilot of Twin Peaks, you will know if you will like at least season 1 and most season 2.
It's representative of everything.
The pilot episode of Twin
Peaks
where
it should be.
Is really good. It's like one of the best episodes.
Okay.
And
is it on anything though? Or do I need to pirate this?
You could get the Blu-ray. You don't have to pirate anything, you know.
That is true. I can get everything and the film on Blu-ray.
I will find where you can. Apparently, it's on Prime Video with a movie subscription. Just fucking.
Okay. I forgot that they were separating all that out. I've not looked at Prime Video for so long.
I definitely did this the legit way, but I just can't remember how I did it. I must.
It's when you're still with Prime, right?
Yeah, because I'm also going to be talking about some anime I've been watching on Amazon Prime, which I definitely have.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say? Oh, but this show, Twin Peaks, I can say after watching 2 seasons of the film and not half of, but like 5 episodes of season 3. Twin Peaks is genuinely a fucking experience. There is no other television show I've ever watched that comes anywhere close to what this is doing. And it is genuinely simultaneously one of the funniest shows I've ever watched and one of the most like haunting, tense shows I've ever watched at the same time. It is brilliant. I love Twin Peaks. I think it's one of the best shows I've ever watched. Yeah. And then also, Tony,
interesting.
I've finished watching Alien Earth, and I'm not a big fan of this show, I'll be honest with you. We watched like 3 or 4 episodes, and I was genuinely saying to my friends, like, if you guys don't want to watch this anymore, I'm not too interested in continuing it. But if you want to keep watching it, I will. Because, like, I really didn't like a lot of the characters. I didn't like the story that much, but there was like, I think it was because it's 8 episodes of Alien Earth, and I think I just realized I've been in full cam this entire. That's fine. It doesn't, honestly, me being in full cam probably better. I'm not really talking about anything in particular.
I honestly thought it was intentional.
Yeah, but yeah, like what was I going to say? This is 8 episodes. I think there was like episode 5 of this I thought was really fucking good. I think it was episode 5 where it was like an actual alien film for some parts. And I was like, oh, this is... Because like the thing with this show that I think sometimes trips people up is like this TV show has like genuinely good like cinematography and shots and production. Yeah. Like... the thing I'll give credit to the show for, the set design is insanely good. Like all the computers and the ships and stuff like that look incredible. Yeah. There's good use of...
Do you think people are being fooled by production?
That's what I... Sometimes when my friends are like, oh, this show's really good, I'm like, this show is well shot. It has good production. It's got good sets and stuff. But I'm like, what is interesting about it? It just kind of seems like an average show. I think like Alien Earth is like well shot. Good production, but it's just like I think the story is kind of stupid. I don't really like the idea is like they're putting like kids' minds into like androids' bodies, and then there's this like rich billionaire guy who's like he's like, I'm Peter Pan and you are my Wendy's and my Lost Boys and stuff like that. So you have like these super strong androids, but they have the minds of children. And then there's this whole thing about like fighting with Yutani over because the aliens crash land on Earth, and then they're trying to fight over who gets access to them. And for the most part, I thought the music choices were pretty awful for the most part as well, in terms of like tension and just like
they're just like pre-made media that already exists. They just put into scene, right?
But it would be like they were flying back from the alien back to like their island that they have to like look at the aliens on like their scientific labs, right? And it was playing music. I was like, I feel like I'm watching a Vietnam War film and they just won right now. I'm just like, this music feels so out of place for what is going on right now. I'm just like, what the hell is this music choice? Like, it wasn't bad music. It was just like, it was just fit so weirdly into like the story and the atmosphere. I was just like, okay. But yeah, as someone who's watched all of the Alien stuff, I think I don't recommend Alien Earth, and I probably won't watch season 2.
What I find crazy is like a lot of YouTubers that I watch have said that they either like or I think it's middling to good. So I don't understand, because I've seen bits of it. I thought it well, I know it looked awful, but like the story was awful.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what they're getting out of it.
There's a bit of disparity, like, because Rotten Tomatoes breaks down like critic scores versus audience scores, right? And if you look, like, critics are giving this like 94%, whereas audiences are giving this like 66%. So audiences are a lot more split, and then critics are like, this is great for the most part.
What are critics getting out? I don't understand. Like, that's almost unanimous at that level, right? Like, that's quite a high percentage of critics.
Because I was like, my friend was saying it was directed by somebody who I'd watched another show that I really liked. Who's the? Let me look up the director. What was he? Noah Hawley.
Right. I don't think I've heard of.
You probably want to have his name, but
no.
He did one of my, because I was like, oh, that he directed the Fargo TV series. Because I was like, the new season of Twin Peaks reminds me a lot of the Fargo TV series. And he was like, yeah, that was done by the director of Alien Earth. But another show, I think I've recommended you to watch it, is Legion, which is the incredibly experimental show about the X-Men mutant who is one of the most powerful mutants in the world, but is also schizophrenic.
Yeah.
So just
I have it on Blu-ray, Hong Kong version.
Yeah. So like the guy who directs it, he's clearly like talented, and he works on a lot of talented shows, and like visually, like it looks good.
But I mean, the screenplay is good though. Like, you can have like well executed, but the story makes no sense or is lacking.
Yeah, so I've liked a lot of the other stuff he's worked on. But yeah, I didn't like Alien Earth. I think the best Alien thing I've seen is Aliens, and Alien Romulus. Those are the best things to watch.
That's one Romulus haven't seen yet. I mean, I love Alien. I think it's just so it's not only like a classic. I think it is like still good by itself. Like, it's surprising how old it is. I'm surprised every time.
But yeah, I wanted to talk about anime now. Turning at the anime timestamp.
Yep. Okay.
This is gonna be summer season first, because I finished watching Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus, which is the new show in the Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl series. I was talking about this with my brother the other day, and my parents were just like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, these shows have pretty insane names, but I like this series. I don't think it's my favorite series. This is more of this feels more like a side quest. I feel like Sakuta is always going on side quests in these fucking things. And this feels more like a side quest, like the Rascal Does Not, or Sister Venturing Out is one of the films where it's more about like his sister.
Right.
But yeah, Kaide. But yeah, we've already got confirmed that there will be a movie next year to finish this arc. I still do like the way like it's told, like we have relationships between characters and there's romance stuff, but there's also like they're also adults now too. They've moved on from high school and they're now in university. So it's an adult romance sort of thing now.
Huge, I'm pro.
But then we also have an episode because he becomes like a cram teacher at a school, and one of his students starts having dreams about him, and it's the episode starts to be called "Rascal Does Not Dream of Dating His Student" or whatever, which I found really hilarious because most of the female characters are like interested in Sakuta. They become interested in him at some point. And then he's always like, I'm dating my Saka regime. I'm dating my San, the bunny girl senpai, and she's literally a model. I only have eyes for her. And every girl is always like, why the hell would you want to be interested in Sakuta? He's so much below your level. But obviously I'm in love with him and I should be dating him. But you shouldn't be interested in this awful person. The contradiction, I think, is kind of funny. But I recommend this series. It's, again, Cloverworks. Cloverworks is great.
Right.
Always makes really good fun. So, finished now since I last spoke. Hell Teacher Nube, New Panty and Stocking is finished. April Showers is finished. Watari-kun has had its mid-season finale. Fragrant Flower, Summer Hikaru Died, Ruri Rocks, Game Center Girl, Gachakuta has had its mid-season finale, and Witch Watch is finished. And they've already confirmed Witch Watch will be getting a season 2, which I'm very happy about because I really like this show. Tony, I made a rough tier list. I searched for like summer anime tier list. So I just want to point out I did not write the like peak, great, good, mid, dookie, drop. Like I didn't write those, but I couldn't be bothered to change them. So I was just like, I'll just do it as like S, A, B, C, D, whatever, right?
They are a bit weirdly named, I have to say.
But like anything around peak great is an easy recommendation. So Tokopi, Original Sin, Fragrant Flower, Summer Hikaru Died, Dan. I think these 4 are probably the strongest shows of the season. Highly recommend to watch any of these. Dress Up Darling Season 2. Sakamoto Days Season 2 was surprisingly really good. New Panty and Stocking, Gachakuta, Witch Watch. Detectives These Days Are Crazy. Fucking hilarious comedy show. Clever Tez and Santa Claus. Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. Great shows to watch. I was going to do like a little mini awards. So anime of the season, Tony, Tokopi's Original Sin, I think is maybe one of the best shows I've watched this year. Absolutely incredible. Definitely one of those shows where it's like you'll watch it and it'll ruin your week, and then you'll be like, but I'm constantly thinking about it and the characters and the story.
Yeah,
definitely a very good show.
That makes sense.
Romance anime of the season, Tony. I'm good. Fragrant Flowers Bloom with Dignity. This show is great, and it's a shame it's still being uploaded through Netflix jail.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Biggest surprise of the season, probably Turkey. I think I've talked about this, but I was like, oh, what is Turkey? And then I'm like, oh, it's a bowling ball. It's like a bowling girl anime. And I'm like, wait, no, this is not a bowling girl anime. What the fuck is happening? It becomes like a fucking isekai, like samurai war period drama where they solve every problem through bowling.
I don't think I understand, but okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I genuinely think this is quite a good show. But it's like tonally, it can be very comedic, and then it gets very like serious, but it kind of works when it gets into like the more serious parts and goes from the comedy to the more serious stuff. So yeah, Clever Tez. Again, I think both Clever Tez, April Showers May Bring Flowers. Where is April Showers May Bring Flowers? Did somebody not put it on this tier list? This would have been on the great tier for me. I love this. April showers bring May flowers, or bouquet of flowers for an ugly girl. I think this show is kind of underrated. I think that was a good show. Clever Tez, in our Seas of Isekais, we had Frieren as the one show that was actually just a fantasy show that was really good. Clever Tez is another great fantasy show, and it's confirmed to be getting a season 2. Detective These Days Are Crazy is also great, like a comedy show. Best OP, With You in the Rain has one of my... It's this very like jazzy J-pop song, and it's this very simplistic animation sort of thing. Dandadan, I thought was really great as well. My Dress Up Darling, and I have to say this one thing, Tony. Unironically, Rent a Girlfriend season 4 OP is good. It actually has a good OP.
Okay. The one good thing about it.
Best ED, New Panty and Stockings ED is so good. Unironically, best music of the season, New Panty and Stocking. The music on this show is insanely good. But I have to say, Gomenasai Ellie Goulding Makane. Unfortunately, Ellie Goulding lost. Because Clever Tez has a really strong ED. It's literally a original song by Ellie Goulding called Destiny.
Right.
Which is... Because I was like, this song is really good. Who sung it? Ellie Goulding, which I was very surprised to find out about.
Yeah.
And then the Summer Hikaru Dai also has a good ED as well. And then Hidden Gems, I think Earthbound Mole is a underrated show, which strikes this balance of like oddball cast with like good comedy and sometimes like serious stuff. Detective These Days and April Showers, again, I think these are underrated shows. I think it seemed like there wasn't as many people were watching them based on the quality of the show. But yeah, it's my thoughts on the spring season of anime.
Okay. New season,
which was going to be a couple of shows, but now has ballooned into like 20 because it's been so long since we've recorded.
Yeah.
So, shall we start with Digimon Beat Break? Because I said, I said this season there's going to be a Digimon anime that comes out.
Yeah.
And because to one of my other friends Jesse, and I'm always saying like, I wonder what's going on with Digimon. And he's like, yeah, I'd love to watch Digimon again.
Yeah, it was weird because we've all been. I don't know. Me and him were at least like we're independently thinking about Digimon for some reason. Then we started talking about it. Like, then you said there's an anime.
Well, I was saying like
a new one.
There's gonna be a Digimon anime that comes out this season, and I'm gonna watch it. And then you and Jesse were like, "Oh, we'll watch it as well." So I was like, "Okay, let's watch it together."
I'm not been part of the Friday watch party thing.
Well, we used to watch The Expanse together on Fridays.
Last year.
We wanted to watch something else.
So,
because from what I understand, like reading the threads, Digimon shows are like anthologies almost. Like each show is kind of unconnected to the other Digimon series.
Yeah, it's kind of similar idea.
The way it works in this one, if your E-pulse is low, you get a Digimon. That's how it works.
Well, I have some explanation of what I remember from what it was saying. They're saying like your emotions feed the E-pulse.
Yeah.
Through
an AI egg.
Well, yeah. I'll get to that. But there's like this, before the technology, there's this just thing that exists. It's almost like your life energy, but it's like they're calling it E-pulse.
Yeah.
And your emotions can feed it. But things are attracted to it, and Digimon can come about from it. And then their entire civilization seems to be built around it. Everyone has an egg that you have to charge up with your E-pulse.
But it's like it's set in the year 2050, so it's in like the future.
Yeah,
and everything is an egg, including the build. There's a giant egg building as well.
It's like everyone wants to live in the egg super building, the building beside the mega structures. But then like the old town is all run down, and Digimon want to feed on your E-pulse. If you get low E-pulse, you freeze. And that's all I know. I don't understand anything else.
Well, it seemed like in this universe that they didn't know that Digimon existed because it was like people's E-pulse were getting low and then they were disappearing. But that's when the Digimon were appearing. So like, was it the Digimon were coming and just taking people's e-pulse and they were dying and then disappearing?
Well, I think they were literally being found frozen.
Right.
So they didn't know what was happening. I mean, in the original series, like Digimon are like a secret as well, right? Like not everyone knows about Digimon. I think that's probably
Digital
a common
world,
thread.
you know, they are the champions.
Yeah, but there's like two plot lines like in the first episode that I don't understand. Well, the first one isn't explained at all. Like there's just 3 people attacking a watch thief, and then
there
I guess we'll see them later.
I think that's gonna be.
And it's not explained.
Episode 2 is out right now. It's come out today, so we could watch it right now and find out what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tony, I hope
Geckomon's the only one. There was some. What's the watch thief's name? Like evolved form called? I can't.
It was like a bee, and then it turned into like a big
Waspamon.
Waspamon.
I don't know.
But our main one was Geckomon, right? Was the name?
The main character is like, I'm not. Why am I listening to
you're
a giant lizard? I'm not lizard. I'm Geckomon. I'm like, Gecko is a lizard. Yeah. What are you talking about?
But then, like, because he's getting attacked by like hyena Digimon.
Oh yeah, like 2 hyena Pokemon.
Digimon.
Yeah.
And then, which is, I don't know if you know this, it's very Toei Animation is known for basically doing I think do they do the Pokemon ones? They do a lot of like Dragon Ball Z and like One Piece and stuff like that.
That sort of fighting.
Yeah.
Action.
Who is it? Is it Toho? I think it's Toho who does the Pokemon series.
Oh, okay. That's
well, I think Toho it does like the Apothecary Diaries as well.
Oh, okay. Okay. So Pokemon are doing Apothecary Diaries and Dragon Ball Z are doing.
Is it? Okay. Let me look at it. Let me just look up a Pokemon show, so I don't misspeak. If I look up like Pokemon XY, who does this? Oh no, OLM does this. But yeah, OLM does the Apothecary Diaries. This is who I'm thinking of.
Okay. Yeah, again, Dragon Ball Z doing Digimon, Apothecary Diaries. Oh, sorry, Pokemon doing Apothecary Diaries. Okay. I can understand that. Those are names I know.
Right. But yeah, sometimes these like companies change hands, but they'll change names, and they're the same company under a different name, and it gets kind of confusing sometimes. But yeah, anyway, I thought it was okay. I thought the animation was generally pretty good. I think it's something I'll continue to watching. How locked in are you, Tony? Because it's going to be a 4-core season, which means a 4-core show, which means it'll be 50 episodes of this.
Yeah, sure. I don't need to lock in for 50 episodes at the moment. I'm locked in at the moment. I'm willing to. I'm not annoyed and don't want to watch it. I'm a bit confused. I don't rate it that highly though. I think there's many problems with it. I think the introduction of the girl character that got frozen was interesting way to deal with it, like with interaction with the main character. But I don't. Was it his brother?
His brother, yeah, Nissan.
I don't understand why we couldn't have more characterization with his brother. That doesn't make any sense to me.
He immediately got introduced, and then they were like, "Get him out."
It's like I would have actually. Yeah, I don't think they should have done that.
Well, his brother comes in and he's like, "Have you been interacting with Digimon?" He's like, "What are these Digimon you speak of?"
Yeah. So the main character has like a weird impulse thing where he corrupts eggs, so you can't really use them properly.
But again, yeah, this is most of what I'm going to be talking about the full season. I've seen like 1 episode or maybe 2 episodes. So this is just initial impressions. Because I'll probably talk about them again at the end, or maybe in the middle if there's something really interesting I want to talk about.
I just finished the Digimon thing. I just want to say, like, I prefer to have the original Digimon as introduced. I think that's a much better way to do it. I think this is a bit weird, personally.
Right.
But we'll see.
I'm intrigued to know what's going on with like the digital world and the e-pulse and stuff. Like, there seems to be some sort of like organization I think that's what they were setting up at the beginning.
Yeah,
was the VR fight in the digital world was like.
But they've set up, in my opinion, they've set up so many things, and it's kind of just a bit nah. I think it needs more time to set up, and they need to do it all in like one bit at a time.
Right. Okay.
Or keep it more mysterious and like just like be more like and like really understand the world or understand the world interacting with the digital world. I don't think it's got like 3 things going on. It doesn't really work.
All right. I've been watching Yano-kun's Ordinary Days. So this is, it's a show about it's a rom-com show. It's basically there's this guy in class called Yano-kun, and he keeps coming to class with more and more injuries every day. He just has, but it's not like he keeps coming to class with different injuries. And so the girl that sits next to him, she's like, what the hell is going on with this guy? So she decides to like follow him home after school and just be like, is someone like bullying him or like, beating him up and stuff like that? Turns out Yano-kun is just incredibly clumsy and just keeps like accidentally injuring himself by walking into things. But she basically keeps looking at him and she's like, I'm just really worried about him. And then she's like, oh no, wait. I think I might be into him. Basically, she immediately is, because normally with like romance stuff, they're like, I'm not into this person. I will not accept my feelings. I will fight them for like an entire season. But she's basically just like, oh no, I think I like Yano-kun. So she decides that she is going to basically get closer to him. And through doing this, she discovers that because of always being injured, he basically has cut himself off from other people because he's like, I don't want anyone else to get injured. So he's just like, because I'm constantly getting hit in the head by like, stuff falling downstairs or walking into brooms and stuff like that, right? But she's like, oh, that must be kind of lonely. So she's basically said, how do I become a better friend to you, Yano-kun? Because she has little younger siblings that she looks after. And she always has this like medical kit with her to like, when someone scrapes their knee, she puts a plaster on it. She's like, Yano-kun, let me basically be the one to tend to your wounds. Because like the nurse can't always be in to look after Yano-kun when he's getting injured.
Right, okay.
But yeah, basically what Yano-kun says, because she's like, how can we make your life better? And Yano-kun's like, well, I don't really have any friends and I haven't really lived a normal high school life. So I kind of just want to hang out with people after school. I want to go to the arcade. I want to go and eat together. I want to go see a movie. So it's just like it's like a romance thing, but it's also just like this guy wants to. It's almost like a slice of life. Like he just wants to try and live his days better and just interact with people because he's been shutting himself off for so long. I really like this show. I've seen 2 episodes of it, but I think it's actually one of the stronger shows of this season. I really like the art style, and I like the show. And I also said, "Oh, not today, Truck-kun." I told you about Truck-kun before, where people.
Yeah.
He gets like almost hit by a truck, and she runs to the hospital because she thinks he's basically been hit by a truck, and it turns out he jumped out the way of a truck and injured himself. So Truck-kun didn't isekai him into a fantasy world today.
Okay.
But yeah, I recommend this show. I think it's quite good.
That's such a common plot.
And then next up we have Let's Play, which comparatively to the last show, it's another rom-com. This is OLM, so this is the Pokemon people. Right? Yeah, this is the Pokemon people. I don't like the art style of this. Apparently it's based on an American webtoon.
Right.
So it's very like when I was watching it, it reminded me of watching like superhero cartoons. It very much doesn't look like anime. It looks more like a Western cartoon.
And an older one.
But I swear to God, there was 2 characters in the show, and they were stood next to each other, and they looked like they were from different shows. The way they were animated, I was just like, this person looks like they would be in a completely different show. That's the best way I could describe it. Because it reminded me of like cartoons, but not like Panty and Stocking looks like Powerpuff Girls. Like it's supposed to look like a cartoon, right? But in like a parody way. This show just looks like that. But the thing is, like, because this was in Japanese, right, Tony? And I don't, like, a new show comes out, I don't care about watching it in Japanese, right? But it's strange because it's set in LA and it looks like an American show. It's set in America, has very American characters and ideals, and then they just start speaking in Japanese, and I'm just like, it feels really out of place. Because it's like they're walking around, you've got like LA, there's palm trees everywhere, and then everyone just starts spitting in Japanese. Like if this had a simuldub, I think it would be a lot less jarring.
Can you imagine like Jisoo Sen suddenly speaking Japanese? That's what
that would be lit.
Anime.
Yeah. Hang on, can I see the photo of this character? This character looked like they're in this Lucy Wright character looked like they're in a different show to every other character.
Oh yeah, what the hell?
Like they have different eyes, they have different lighting. I was just like, what? Are you in the same show? Also, because it feels like I think it's like a more of a shoujo thing where it's like because it feels like I haven't even explained the plot of the show. I just realized there's a woman who works at a video game studio. I think she's a video game developer, but she works at like a random. She works at a random business that's not to do video game stuff, but she wants to do video game stuff. She's a developer in Los Angeles, and she has a love interest in the coffee shop. One thing she had like a really creepy boss who they kind of tried to put forward as a love interest. And I was like, I don't know, but this guy just feels very creepy. I don't know. Am I supposed to be like, oh yeah, this guy is really cool and sexy, and you know, your boss should be harassing you at work, sort of thing. Like I literally wrote down, is this Activision Blizzard she works for? Like, what is going on here?
Is that Bobby Kotick?
Yeah. But like her dad runs the company. There was a funny moment with her dad, but like, I don't know. Like I've watched one episode of this, Tony, but like out of all the shows I've watched, I think this is would be the first on my drop list, which is a shame because you know I love romance shit, but I haven't gelled with this show at all so far. Yeah, I hate how it looks, and I don't really like the story and the vibe of it. Like another love interest is a Let's Player plays her game and gives it really bad reviews, and then he moves in next to her, and that's where things are going to start moving from that point. I guess there's going to be this constant like, is she going to go for the Let's Play guy? Will she go for the coffee shop guy? Will she go for a boss? Like, I don't know. I don't really like this show. Talking about romance shows I do love, Tony. My little sister's friend has it in for me. This is Joe Trash. This is Joe Trash. This is cinema. Here it is.
It sounds awful.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Trash anime is back on the menu. Also, the fucking OP of the show, I was like, this sounds so... A VTuber made the OP of this show, and I was like, yeah, you could tell.
Okay.
This show, so not last year, but the season before, I had a show called Can a Boy Girl Friendship Survive, right? And I absolutely loved this show in the beginning, and then by the end of it, I hated the show and most of the characters. And I gotta say, I love this show, but the sister girl is the same voice actor as Himari from Can a Boy Girl Friendship Survive? And I'm just like, will I love this show by the end? We will see. I love it now, but we will see later because it's definitely Joe Trash. It's not like something I would recommend to everyone as a great show, but it's something I'm really enjoying. The plot is that he has his friend's sister is friends with his sister, and she's always coming around, and she's like basically hitting on him, bullying him, being like, oh, I'm going to be in your room and harass you, and you have to deal with it because I'm your sister, because I'm your friend's sister. That makes me your sister. It's
what?
Yeah, that's what she says. It gets worse, Tony. But he works for a game company. Well, he started his own like mobile visual novel like game company, and he wants to work for the bigger video game company, which is owned by his uncle. And he basically has this game he's put forward. His uncle sees it, and his uncle is like, "This is really good. We might want to hire you and bring you in." He's like, "Yes, finally, I can come into the fold and join the big company." And he's like, "You don't have a girlfriend, do you?" And he's like, "No, I don't have a girlfriend," even though like this sister girl is constantly like. But it's very much like Nagatoro. That's the best way I could describe it. If you, please stop bullying me, Nagatoro. It's about like this guy is constantly being like harassed by this like younger girl who's like, it's how do I put this? It's like you know when like you have a show where a girl is like somebody is showing their feelings through like bullying, but it's clear they very much like the person at the same time.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
Other than bullying.
Very much like that. But then he goes and speaks to his uncle and his cousin. But before he speaks to his cousin, he accidentally walks into the bathroom because it's a mixed bathroom, and he didn't read the sign that the door was broken. So he walks in on his cousin, and she's like, "You're a disgusting pervert." And then his uncle is like, "Your cousin is moving in. She's moving school to be at the same school, and I'm worried that she's going to be harassed by all of the boys there. I need you to look after her. I need you to pretend to be your cousin's boyfriend so that nobody else can harass her." But the way the story is set up is that it seems like it's going to be a romance competition between his friend's sister and his cousin.
Yeah.
That seems to be where the story is going. And I'm very much like, genetically speaking, we should not be going there. That seems like a very bad idea. But I will say, like, there's a lot of like rom-com fan service stuff. It's enjoyable to watch if you like trash rom-com stuff. That's what I'll say about this.
Okay.
So far, I've seen 2 episodes of this. So we'll have to wait and see if I get annoyed by new Himari. Inexpressive Kashiwada and Expressive Uta. Tony, I've seen this show 1,000 times. This is Komi Can't Communicate. This is a Haran-san. It's shy, anxious girl can't communicate with boy in high school, and it turns into romance as they try and talk to each other and interact with each other. Except it's a Haran-san with Bakugo from My Hero Academia, who is just constantly... Again, this is the opposite of what I was saying, where he's constantly like bullying Kashiwada in order to get her to react to things, but it's very clear that he likes Uta, but he's like, "No, I don't like her. I'm just trying to get her to show her emotion because she's just hiding her emotions, you know?"
Right.
I've seen 2 episodes of this. I have seen this show 1,000 times, Tony, in different formats, and I will watch it again.
Okay.
I like this. Then we have A Star Brighter Than the Sun. This is romance shoujo, so it's like, you know.
So is that new genre?
Shoujo is to explain the demographic.
Okay.
Have you ever heard the phrase shonen?
Yeah.
Shonen means the demographic is young boys in terms of who is going. So like your Dragon Ball, your Naruto, your whatever. Like the main target demographic for this is younger, like teenage boys, right? Or younger than that, maybe. And then you have like seinen, which is like for more older audiences, boys. Shoujo is like targeted towards like teenage girls. Like that's what shoujo is. So like shoujo shows are much more likely to be told from the female perspective. They're much more likely to have multiple male love interests rather than a seinen romance will have like a boy with like a harem of girls, for example.
Okay. Makes sense.
But yeah. I can't believe my childhood crush is going to the same high school as me. I like how they point out she's really tall, and they also point out that through like middle school, she kept drinking his milk because he didn't want to drink it, and I'm like, I like that we have the deep lore that she got really tall from drinking double the portions of milk. That is the deep lore.
That's definitely how that works. Yeah.
Again, this is on Amazon Prime, Tony, which is where I'm watching it with my Amazon Prime sub. It's again. It seems like whenever Amazon Prime does a show, they always simuldub it. It seems like they're really wanting to push this to the global audience, where a lot of shows this season, they haven't had like a lot of simuldub stuff where the dub comes out at the same time as the sub version. But like everything on Amazon I've seen so far, I think is simuldubbed. It's dub day one.
That's interesting.
The animation's pretty decent. I will watch more of this. It seems pretty wholesome so far, so I'll wait and see with this one. Speaking about another show on Amazon Prime, Tony, we have Sander. Man, Science Saru is back, Tony. I feel like Science Saru only works on the most batshit insane stuff. This show is already in to give you a heads up, Science Saru does Dan to Dan and from what I've watched and Devilman Crybaby. These are some of the shows they've worked on that I've watched. This show is already insane. The manga is from the creator of Beastars, and so there's a kid at school called Sander, and he thinks Furuyama has a crush on him because she keeps like trying to be around him. Then she pulls out a knife and she says, I'm going to fucking murder you with this knife. She starts trying to murder him until somebody interrupts them. Sander's really confused. He's like, what the fuck is going on? But then he's like, she's probably just puberty. Shrugs it off. In this world, Tony, Christmas doesn't exist anymore. It's taking place on Christmas Day. And no, just like no one has seen Santa Claus. People don't celebrate Christmas anymore.
You know, I haven't seen Santa Claus for a while either.
I see him in my dreams every night. You know,
one day he'll return. Second coming of Santa.
She meets him again in the classroom. She's like, "I'm gonna fucking murder you," and she's like, "You never wear our school jacket." And he's like, "Yeah, I get too hot." And he's like, "Our school jacket is red, and you never wear it." And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, I believe you're a descendant of Santa Claus, and if you wear this red jacket, you will become Santa Claus because I will break the curse. And he's like, I'm not going to wear the jacket. And she's like, that's fine. I have a quicker way of proving you're Santa Claus. And she stabs him in the heart because she believes that him bleeding blood out of his heart will be red and he will transform into Santa Claus. And it's pretty funny because she's just staring at him and she's like, oh God, did I just murder someone? And then this young kid turns into a giant ripped Santa Claus. And then, she's like, I need your help, Santa Claus. My friend has gone missing and you're the only person who can find them for me. I believe in you and I need your help. So it's like, the plot of this is kind of fucking insane.
Yeah.
But then he eats like jelly beans. I think it's like jelly beans or something. And jelly beans turn him back into a kid. He's Sander again. But she's like, whenever he puts on red, he turns into Santa Claus. But he's like this jacked Santa Claus, right? That can fight people. And then,
that makes sense. I understand that bit.
Because to get him to turn in, she was like, I'm going to stab you. And it's like, okay, that's the end of her terrorism, right? No. Episode 1, not the end of her terrorism. She's like, I need to prove that you're Santa Claus still and you can help me. I've planted a bomb somewhere in this room. And he's like, what? He's like, yes. And if you're Santa Claus, you'll be able to resist the effects of this bomb. I'm not going to tell you where it is. So he basically transforms into Santa Claus and is like, I'm going to kill this kid if you don't all get out of here. And then he's like, where did you plant the bomb? He's like, surely you were joking about the bomb. Furuyama reveals that she's wearing the fucking bomb as a bomb vest, and then he takes it off and it explodes. The entire classroom explodes, and you're just like, what the fuck happened? And Santa is like there. He's standing there as Santa Claus, and he's like, I knew it. Santa Claus is immune to explosions because he can withstand the fires of chimneys when he's delivering presents. I'm just like,
yeah.
Classic.
The deep lore.
Yes.
So someone's been doing their research in the deep lore, yeah.
But she's basically like, Santa, I need your help. That is the start of Santa, is you have this classmate trying to murder her classmate, setting off bombs in the school, all because her friend has gone missing and she wants her back. This is definitely a science.
Easy just to throw a cloak over him.
Nah.
That's red.
But no, because she had to be sure that he was Santa Claus, because only Santa Claus would have the power to come back to life from being stabbed in the heart.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, this is definitely a Science Saru animated show, for sure. It is batshit insane, and I love it. We will see where this goes.
Completely nonsensical.
Tony, this monster wants to eat me. Last season we had boy love horror. This season we have girl love horror. We had the Summer Hikaru died. Now we have this monster wants to eat me. Depressed girl loses her family and wants to die, and I'm listening to her speak, and I'm like, oh no, it's the exact same voice actor as Shizuka from Tokopi's Original Sin, and I'm like, not again, not again, not again. But she's basically like given up on life. She wants to die, basically.
Yeah.
This monster tries to drag her into the ocean and kill her. And then a mermaid woman comes along and saves her and kills the monster. And she's basically like, you are one of the most delicious things possible. Like right now, to every monster around here, you smell amazing. And we want to eat you, basically. You have this like appeal, right? And she's like, but the more that you the more you mature, the tastier you will become. So I'm going to let you live and protect you because I want to eat you when you become tastier. And
right, that makes sense. Yep.
But so that she basically the mermaid woman transfers to her school and becomes part of her class. But the fucked up thing is Hinako, our main character, who is being protected, is basically like, yes, finally I might get my wish of dying. She's like, this is the good outcome. If I get eaten, this means I won't have to go on and keep living. It's definitely an interesting show, I will say. I'm going to keep watching it. This is episode 1. I think this episode 2's out now, but I think this will be interesting to see where this goes, right? What do you think of the premise?
I've got an idea of where it would go, but whether they do that or not. Like, if the point is to slowly realize they both have different outlooks on the same situation, they then realize different things about each other or the situation. I assume that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Exploring that.
Then we have Dusk Beyond the World. After waking up from a long cryogenic sleep, high school student Akira Himegami finds himself in a world he no longer recognizes. It seems so he's in the future, but it's like a post-apocalypse. It's not but it's like a future where we've gone back into the dark age, where all technology knowledge has gone to its. Is like people are living in like houses without electricity and stuff like that, right? For the most part. Yeah. But basically, before he woke up, they were worshiping him as like a god. But he existed in a future with like androids and stuff like that, so he's very confused what happened. But it seems like there's some big organization called Orwell, which is very on the nose, but the OWell, which is not Orwell organization, and they basically control all technology, and if you find technology, you have to hand it over to them, although they're like a very heavy, strict military organization that will come after you if you don't hand it over to them. So he meets some people, they're nice to him, they show his family. This OWell organization comes along. They capture him and like, we're taking you in. They're like going to say they're going to kill the people who rescued him and were worshiping him as a god when he was asleep. He's like, no, you can't hurt these people. Then this android woman comes along, she like busts them out and she kills everyone, and she's like, I'm here to save you. And he's like, oh my god, you're this woman from my past. And she's like, yes, I want to marry you. And that's the end of episode 1. This insane android robot woman saves him from being killed in the future/new past. And she's like, I now want to marry you. It's a romance sci-fi show from PA Works. I'm gonna have to watch more of it, but it seems kind of fine. I mean, it seems kind of mid. I'm not sure. There's nothing about it where I'm like, I have to watch the next episode of this. I could see myself dropping this, but I could also see myself, if it gets more interesting, I could see watching more. I'll watch more of it for a bit at least.
I think you could do lots of interesting stuff with that premise and setting, but whether they do anything with it, I think this is
Hands off Sawawara Ra Naidi Kotechsai-kun. I'm just pronouncing Japanese names very poorly. Tony, it's my ecchi of the season. It is. I actually have watched one ecchi show per season this season. It is a guy who possesses exceptional massage skills and dreams of becoming a sports doctor. And to secure a scholarship to a medical school, he has to have a live-in job at the girls' dormitory in order to cover his expenses. But then the girls learn that he's really good at mending their sports injuries. Yeah, it's a sports ecchi harem show. The biggest whiplash I got from this was the main girl that is in episode 1 is this blonde woman. And she's the exact same voice actor as Marin from Dress Up Darling. Seeing the ecchi version of Marin-chan is such whiplash going from Dress Up Darling to this. Yeah, I'll keep watching this, Tony. It's not something I'm going to say you have to watch this, but it is definitely it is what you're going to get going in.
Yeah.
Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider. This one I was just like, okay, I'll just put this on. I don't really know anything about this. This has been one of the biggest surprises of the season so far. There was a goofy ass premise, but might be possibly my favorite thing I've watched this entire season. So the premise is Tojima has spent his entire life chasing a dream to become a Kamen Rider. Kamen Riders are basically Power Rangers. It has like this animation of this like 70s show, and I'm like, oh, this made up 70s show is really interesting. And I'm like, wait a minute, I looked it up. Kamen Rider is a real TV show from the 70s. It's the show that inspired Super Sentai as we know it in the West, Power Rangers.
That's crazy.
I send you the link.
So just be clear. So in this anime, like the series is also fictional, like in the real world.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's basically been training his entire life to become a Kamen Rider. Like the guy, I think he turns into like a bug, and he's a cyborg, and he fights Shocker, who is the leader of the evil army. Like a Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something like that, right? I must defeat Shocker. The thing I found really cool about the original 70s show is the guy who plays Kamen Rider, he sings the theme tune, and he also did all of his own stunts in the show. I'm like, this guy is so based. Like, it's so cool. But yeah, it inspired stuff like Power Rangers. It reminds me of when I was watching Devilman, and I didn't know about the original Devilman show or the original Devilman manga.
I didn't know the deep lore to Power Rangers. That's interesting, though.
But I don't know if you're listening to the song, but it has like Rider, jump, Rider, kick. It has that very like old school like theme to it.
And he's saying he did it himself.
Yeah, the actor.
Okay. But, it's very, very old school. Yeah.
But we have a new Kamen Rider theme, Tony, and I was like, this Kamen Rider. There's a new Kamen Rider theme. There's a new Kamen Rider theme that is like the original, and then there's a remix version for the action scenes. And I was like, oh, this is great. It's Teddy Lloyd, so yeah, of course it's fucking great. Teddy Lloyd did a lot of music on like New Panty and Stocking. Like, I'm a big fan of Teddy Lloyd now. But yeah, the plot is he's been training his entire life to be a Kamen Rider, but he lives in a world where there is no Kamen Rider and there is no Shocker, and reality catches up to him. He's like, I'm 40 and I've been training my entire life to be a Kamen Rider, and there is no Kamen Rider. He's like, shit, what do I do now? But the thing is, Tony, he gets ridiculously strong. he's like punching holes in trees in the woods, and he's fighting bears, and he's like, I have to be ready for the day Shocker comes. But like he has all this like Kamen Rider memorabilia in his house, and he basically sells it all because he's like, I think the saddest thing would be dying and then having people like throw away all of my rare Kamen Rider memorabilia because my room would just be full of it and nobody would know what to do with it, right? Or would give it its utmost respect.
Who knows?
Yeah, like he sells it to like rare collect, but he's basically like he loves Kamen Rider. Like this is his entire life, and I think the premise of somebody who has devoted their entire life to become like a fictional character and then gets to this age and is like, oh shit, what do I do now? Is so interesting. But the interesting thing is, Tony, I was like, okay, maybe the show will go like, what do you do with your life now? But it's like gangs start going and robbing stores and they start dressing up as fake Shocker mobs. There was another show this season, actually. It's called Gangolion that I wanted to watch, but it's only in Japanese. It's not subtitled. It's only on Japanese television. But the Gangolion show is about basically somebody who works as a minion for like a Shocker like somebody who works as a minion on like one of the Power Ranger villains. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds like a really interesting concept as well.
Their perspective.
But basically, this fake Shocker gang like these villains start robbing stores and they do like the Shocker like hand wave and they're like Shocker, and he's like, oh no, what the hell's going on here? Shocker's back. So he's like at a fair and like a summer festival, and the Shocker gang attacks because their mob boss is like, no, you have to do it in the style of Shocker. And he's like, I don't know, boss, this is kind of cringy. This old show, we're not really into it. And he's like, Shocker is my favorite character from Kamen Rider, and you have to pretend to be in the Shocker gang. And they're like, oh, okay. And he sees this, and he like goes up to the store and he buys, because he has like a fucking full suit, I feel like, but then he sells it all, right? So he goes up to the store and they have like a Kamen Rider, like, I love how it's just like, you know, like you have Halloween masks with just like a piece of string at the back. So he puts on like one of these cheap ass masks, and like there's just tears streaming down his face. And these guys are stood there after like kicking the shit out of this store, and they're like, why is this guy wearing a mask just like crying to fuck? And he's just like, finally, I can be Kamen Rider. And he just starts beating the shit out of these guys. And it plays like this remix of Kamen Rider by Teddy Lloyd. It's this sick ass song. I was like, yes, this is exactly what I want to see. And just the episode is about to end. It cuts to like a scene of another person, and she's dressed like a fucking ladybird, and she's wearing this full outfit, and she's looking at the events of what's happening on like the news, and she's like, you're only wearing a mask, where's your full suit? And she's lifting like 400 pounds, and she's like, and it seems like there's going to be side characters that also want to be Kamen Rider characters, and they're going to become like these weird like vigilantes. I don't know, it seems like an interesting show. I want to see where this is going, but it's been a huge surprise so far, and I really love where it's gone so far.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Somewhat interesting to me.
Yeah, but it was super interesting to me because I'd never heard. I went from this fake show Kamen Rider looks really cool, and then it was like, oh no, wait, it's an actual show from the 70s.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Then we have Mechanical Marie. I thought this was going to be a classic rich man wants to fuck robot maid, but it turns out it's a stoic, emotionless wrestling woman pretending to be a robot. So we have the story of Arthur Lois Zetas, who's a wealthy, handsome, successful man who is no stranger to the greed of people. Basically, he's the illegitimate son of a CEO, but he's the next in line to take over a huge billion-dollar company, right? And he has a brother who is younger than him, who I think is legit. But basically, he spends most of his life dodging assassination attempts of people trying to kill him. So he basically doesn't trust any human beings. He doesn't trust any people. He's like, the only thing I can trust is objects, because objects can't betray me, right? So they need like a maid for him, and he doesn't trust people. So they're like, okay, this woman wants to go to this illustrious rich school, and basically his chief of staff is like, if you pretend to be a robot maid, we'll basically pay for your schooling. So she just pretends to be a robot for him. But she's also like ridiculously strong because she's like this insane wrestler at the same time. I actually love the OP for this show because in the OP it shows like her like guns coming out of her arms and her mouth's like dirt, like up and down, like yap yap yap, like a robot. But then it gives you this idea that she is a robot, and you go into the show and you're like, wait, she's not a robot? Like she's pretending to be a robot, which I thought was a nice twist. But basically, he's really like, I don't trust anyone. But when he's alone with her, he's like, oh, I can relax around you. And it starts this like, they start to like form this like close relationship where he thinks she's a robot, and you know she knows she's not a robot, but she can't tell him because of the agreement. And he wouldn't trust her if he knew she was But she's just genuinely like a really emotionless woman who like everyone says she's very like robot-like. But the wild thing is like someone like drives off with him and kidnaps him, and then they take him to this building and they drive off in the car, and she just starts running after them and like catches up to the car and jumps on it, and I'm like, bro, is this woman a robot? Like she has like insane inhuman strength. And then she finds where they're capturing them, and basically he gets free, and they're in the basement, and the basement sets on fire, and the stairs collapse so they can't get out, and it's like, oh no, we're both going to die. And then Marie's like, I can push you up into the window, don't worry about me, I won't die in the fire because I'm a robot. And I'm just like, Marie, you're not a fucking robot, you're not gonna be able to survive the fire, what the fuck are you talking about? So I was like, could this turn into a show where Marie dies, the guy thinks she's a robot, and then he like keeps trying to rebuild robots to be Marie? That would be an interesting direction to take it, where he falls in love with a woman who he thinks is a robot, so he keeps building robots to try and remake Marie. That would be interesting. But no, it turns out this woman just has no sense of self-preservation. She would just like literally sacrifice herself for him. I think 'cause she's like starting to respect him and feel for him, I guess. But basically, somebody else comes along and rescues her, and it's okay. But I'm just like, bro, you're not a robot. What if your master asks you to like walk into the ocean and just walk underwater, and she's like, oh, you won't need to breathe, you're a robot. And it's like, well, you know the data missions, data gets sent on, it's like, you can carry highly radioactive materials, you're a robot, you won't die to this.
Well, you say that, but it always goes wrong when he has to do that. I don't think he can. He needs radiation shielding. They should have drones for that, Star Trek.
Yeah, this show is fine. I've seen one episode, I'll keep watching it. Alma-chan wants to be a family. We have another robot show, Tony. We have
what?
Someone put it best. It's Robot X Family. It's like robot version of Spy X Family. It is two awkward, egotistical scientists build a killer robot in the body of a school kid. And basically, these two people spend all their time together, but they're very much like, the robot's only so good because of my insane mechanical skills. And he's like, no, the robot's only so good because of my insane like AI programming skills and personality and stuff, like programming skills. And it's like, it's a classic tale of like, they really, they seem like they don't like each other, but it also seems like they kind of like each other in a way, you know, the classic. But basically, the robot they've built this robot to destroy things. It's full of weapons, and they want to. It's their like life's goal to like sell this robot to the military or something like that, I guess, or to take over the world. I don't know what their end goal is. I'm going to be honest with you. But they basically, the robot starts calling them mother and father, and they're like, "Well, technically, we are your mother and father." And they're like, but we're not your parents. We're not married or anything. We don't even like each other that much. But like the robot keeps calling them mother father, and they're like, actually, we don't want anyone to find out that you're like a killer robot, because that would destroy our life's goal if it got uncovered before we were finished making you. We kind of need to pretend to be a family so that we can, as a cover story for why we have a man and a woman living together with a child, right? So it starts this like rom-com where it's going to be like one of those, but it's a rom-com between the two scientists, but it's also going to be like a wholesome, like the robot just wants to have a family and they're going to do family stuff, like Spike's Family sort of stuff. I think this is interesting. I'll keep watching this and see where it goes. But yeah, that's Alma-chan wants to be a family. She just wants a wholesome family, but it also seems like she's forcing the scientists to get close together, and it seems like they kind of want to be together, but their egos get in the way. Chitos in a Ramoon bottle. Ramoon's kind of like a Japanese drink. I see this a lot in anime. It's like I think it's like lemonade, and it's basically like something you drink in summer in Japan. Like that's when you drink it.
Right.
Yeah, it's a carbonated lemonade by a Scottish pharmacist that was introduced in the 1800s.
Interesting.
It's a harem rom-com, Tony. Essentially, the plot is Sakachitsu. He's nicknamed Class 5's womanizing scumbag. He's constantly slandered online by jealous of his popularity. He has a bunch of female friends. They all seem like kind of interested in him. He seems kind of interested in them. He has some sort of weird harem thing going on. It kind of actually reminded me of Sakuta from Bunny Girl Senpai. He kind of has that personality of I'm an asshole and I know it sort of thing, but I'm also very honest. That's kind of how Sakuta is. But also Sakuta also goes on a lot of side quests of, I need to help out this random person. Like Asuka in this show, the white-haired girl who he meets by the river, she reminded me a lot of like a Bunny Girl Senpai character, where she was just like speaking almost in like poetry and speaking very like philosophically, and she wants to help out these kids by the river and stuff like that. But basically his teacher is like, I need you to help me. There's this like kid who's not coming into school. I need you to go and talk to him and see what's wrong and try and help him get back into school. He starts visiting this kid with one of his female classmates, and it's very clear this is some sort of like incel like kid who's like, I don't trust women, I'm not coming into school, it's not like my anime and my manga and stuff like that, right? But he's like, he starts bringing different women to come talk to him, and he's like, can you just talk to me? Can you open the door and engage with me? I think I could help you. And he's like, no, you're only doing this because you want to impress other people and look cool. You don't know anything about me, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I know exactly how to solve this. So his solution is he gets a baseball bat and he smashes through his window, and that's the end of episode 1. And I'm like, his solution to getting through to this kid was smashing the window to talk to him. I was like, okay, that's kind of wild.
He's on it before.
Yeah. That was the cliffhanger of episode 1. So this yeah. show, it was listed as 50 minutes long. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's going to be a really long intro episode, right? So the actual length of the episode was 30 minutes, and then it ends, but the next 20 minutes is like an IRL voice actors going around like a dinosaur park and eating food and talking about like the dinosaur park and food and just talking about the voice actors. And I was like, I have never seen this before. It was like, this aired on Japanese television and on Crunchyroll. They put as one episode the intro episode, followed by like a behind the scenes with the voice actors going on like a mini documentary tour around Japan. And I was like, wait, what? This is the sort of thing I might watch if I had watched like the 12 episodes of this and I wanted to know more about the voice actors. But this is episode 1. What do I care about seeing the voice actors touring around like a dinosaur park? This felt really weird because I've never seen this on any other show I've ever watched, where like the main show is directly followed by like a behind the scenes sort of thing, like inside the episode. It felt very strange to watch because I was reading the thread and other people were saying like, yeah, I've never seen anything like this before. This is so weird. And I was like, I watched a little bit of it, but I was like, I have other stuff to watch. So I just skipped past it. I was like, I could always come back and watch this if I really love this show. I think it's okay so far. I'll keep watching it and see what happens after he smashes through that kid's window. Apparently he got permission because he was like, I know exactly what I must do, but I must get permission from the mother first. So did he go up to the mum and say, look, I can get through to your kid. I just need to smash your window in with a baseball bat and then I can get through to him. I'm just like, bro, this seems insane. We have my awkward senpai. It's girl boss on the outside, awkward introvert on the inside. We have Azuha, who is this very like cold-hearted woman on the outside. She has to mentor the new guy, and she basically starts to open up to him a little bit more as she has to mentor him on how to get around this company. It seems okay. It's nice to see another adult rom-com, Tony. We see so little of these, but it feels like it's going to be one of those melting of the ice, cold personality type shows as they become more open with each other. It's okay. It's not my favorite. I'll probably watch it a little bit more. Not sure about this one. This one's another adult rom-com office show, Tony, but we have plus-sized misadventures in love. I'm not sure how I feel about this show, Tony.
What's plus-sized?
The woman is plus size. So it starts with somebody hating on themselves, like calling themselves, I'm so fat and I'm so ugly and nobody could ever love me. An accident happens and they wake up with a completely different, as like a completely different personality. But as they wake up, they're like hyper positive. And I can't tell if they would, because it seems like from the beginning it was somebody who really didn't like their body, and then they were in an accident or something. And when
they see themselves in a different perspective.
I don't know if it's going to be like it's somebody, if it's somebody seeing themselves in a different perspective, or if they're like they're in another body, right? Because it's not really explained that. But if it is like they have this hyper positive personality where they're like, I look so cute, like I look really good, like I'm really pretty, right? But they have no memories of their past life, because when they wake up, they talk to the mother, and the mother's like, what the hell's going on with you? Why are you so different? You survived a suicide attempt. Like, you tried to kill yourself. And you're like, why would I try and kill myself? I'm so cute. I'm so wonderful. Like, why would I do that? And she finds like a phone that she has, and it just has pictures of like this boy at a park. And she's like, maybe that I was involved with this guy. But she learns she works in an office, and on her way back to the office, she goes to the park, and she sees this guy in the park, and she starts speaking to him. And he's like really nervous to go into work, and she gets water for him, and she starts talking to him, and he's like, I hope we can become friends, right? But she basically goes into this office job. It seems like her boss is very understanding. She's like, oh, you have no memories of how anything works. I'll help get you up to speed. Like he essentially has to retrain her how to do her job because she has no memories of anything. But she gets creepy vibes from him, but she's not sure why. But he seems like a nice guy from what I've seen. So I don't know if that's like a misnomer, like to throw you off the scent, or there's something else going on there. One thing I will say about this, Tony, there is like a mystery thing going on with this. Because like she makes like a new friendship with one of the girls at the office, and it seems like, because everyone's commenting on how when she used to be in the office, her hair was always down, she was always really glum, she didn't talk with anyone, she wouldn't share her ideas in the business meetings, and now she's like this happy, outgoing person who wants to talk to everyone and be friends with everyone, right? And it seems like they're kind of shit talking her, and it's like, why is she so out there? Like, nobody likes her, sort of thing, right? But it seems this assistant woman is really nice to her, but it seems like in an internal monologue, she's like, why is this fucking bitch talking to me? I don't like her. But she finds all these journals, and inside the journals, she just finds like writings of how much she hates herself. But she also finds like ideas of like product ideas she's had, and she's like, these are really good, I should tell people about these. And she starts telling people about them, and the boss is like, yeah, I like these ideas. Let's go with your ideas. And she's like, cool. And the other people find out about this, and then mysteriously her notebooks with all of our ideas disappear. So it seems like somebody at her office really doesn't like this new personality she has and may be involved with like something that's going on with what happened with her suicide attempt. But basically the police call her up and they say, yeah, we're not actually sure it was a suicide attempt. We think you may have someone might have tried to murder you. So like there is like this weird mystery thing going on. And I like the show is like, hey, she's this plus size woman, but she still has body confidence, right? My only issue is that this show seems to want to do body positivity, but also fat jokes at the same time. And it seems to try and do both, right? Which I'm not sure if that's going to land, but we'll see. Oh, my headphones are low battery. Let me plug them in while I use them. So it'd be like, oh yeah, it's like genuinely a show about body positivity, right? But then it's also like I couldn't help but laugh because of the juxtaposition between like this almost like more serious show about body positivity, and then she's like, she hears some girl shit talking her, and she's like, I'm gonna run out the bathroom stall, and then as she's running out, she gets stuck in the bathroom stall, and she's like, oh shit, I'm stuck, I'm too big, and then I was like, and I just burst out laughing because it was like, you know, that break in tension between something kind of serious to something like comical, right? But yeah, I don't know how to feel about it. I think people are very like negative on this, but it does feel like there is something interesting going on. Like of the other shows I've watched, this does feel like one of the more interesting shows in terms of like the rom-com stuff, at least. And it's another adult rom-com. So, because I don't know how to, because some parts it feels like they're respecting plus size people, and then other parts it feels like they're making fun of them. But surely like plus size people making fun of themselves, or like they should be allowed to do it? I don't know.
Maybe that's why they're going for it, to like just get like depowering it by being done to the main character. Yeah, I don't know. It seems a bit.
But yeah, I'm going to keep watching this, and I'll talk about it later. Whether the mystery going on is interesting or the body positivity stuff, we'll see. One Dance. This is. You've heard of sports anime, Tony, but have you heard of dancing anime? It's an anime about people who want to dance. And Tony, this is the one I was telling you about. So, our main character has a stutter, Tony. And I was literally, I don't know if you remember I'm a Scatman by Scatman John, the song. But I've literally been listening to it so much recently because on YouTube Music, it like plays... It puts every song you've ever liked into a playlist. And I've liked that song like fucking 15, 20 years ago or whatever. Whenever fucking YouTube came out. And so I listen to that song every time. And I remember they were like, you know, sometimes when people sing, they don't stutter. And like literally in the Scatman song, Scatman John says like, the Scatman has a stutter, but the Scatman doesn't stutter when he sings. Like he literally talks about that in the song. And during this anime, we have the full Scatman music video play where he says all of that. Like they animated it into this anime, and it just plays the entirety. Because I was thinking of Scatman John, and then literally he comes onto the screen. It's the first time I've ever seen Scatman John in a fucking anime, but here we are.
That wasn't my list of things to see. Well, hear about to see this year.
But yeah, I think it's a cool story. It's Madhouse and then Cyclone Graphics for the 3D stuff. I'll get into the 3D stuff in a minute, but basically we have this character who has a stutter, but he wants to dance in order to express himself because he sees this other woman called Wanda Dance, and Wanda's he loves how like expressive Wanda looks when she dances, and he wants to dance himself, right? He's really tall, so he plays in the basketball team, but he's like, I kind of want to dance, because people used to make fun of him when he was dancing in the past, and it made him really unconfident about it. He's self-conscious about it, right?
Yeah.
The voice acting and the animation is really good. Like, it's really well done. My only issue is, Tony, so you know like how anime is 2D animation, right? A lot of hand-drawn stuff and 2D movement, right?
Yeah.
When they go to dancing, it switches to 3D models for the dancing.
Interesting.
And oh my god, the 3D models do not look the best. I was whenever they would switch, I would like 2D, 3D. You could immediately tell when they switched to the 3D models, like it almost reminded me of like people moving like ragdolls around in Gary's mod, like that kind of like clunky. Like it looks so like there's a lot of anime uses 3D animation these days to fill in the gaps because it's way cheaper and easier to do than to hand draw 2D stuff. Like example, like a animation with like 3D animation used in it that looks really good. Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man has a ton of like 3D animation in it, and it just sort of blends in. Like it's really well done. The thing is with this was like it was really taking me out of it because it was like they're dancing. Oh god, it's this weird looking 3D model, and now we're back to the 2D, and I'm like, oh, I'm back in it. It feels like a good show. So I'll keep watching this. This was on Disney Plus, I think. Disney Plus is getting a lot. So like when it comes to the seasons now, it feels like Crunchyroll has most of the stuff. Amazon Prime picks up a bunch of stuff, and they always try and simuldub it. Netflix likes to try and simuldub stuff, and sometimes they do a really good job, but then Netflix is so random with their strategy where we'll just get like a bunch of shows one season, and then this season, Netflix has one show and nothing else. It was like last season, Netflix was stacked, and this season they're like, we have season 2 of one show. So, and then Disney Plus has started to do like more anime stuff as well. So, yeah. But so far, I like this show other than the 3D stuff. Like, if the dancing was in 2D, I think this would be a really good show. I think this is really good so far. Then we have, may I ask for one final thing? This is another surprise of the season, Tony. We have Scarlet. Now, Scarlet is betrothed to the prince, and it's very much, I looked at this and I was like, this looks like a shoujo show where it's like this woman who's betrothed to a prince in his aristocratic times, in the past. You have these big balls and parties and stuff like that. And basically what happens is Kyle, her fiance, the prince who she's betrothed to, suddenly calls off their engagement. And she says, you bullied the hell out of this woman and I'm in love with her and I'm breaking up with you. And she says, you know what? That's not true. You've been bullying me this entire time. May I ask for one final thing? And he's like, why would I ever give you one final thing? And the woman's like, no. Give her one final request before she goes. And she says, okay, my final request. I want to beat the living shit out of you. And she just starts punching the shit out of everyone in the room. She's like, you're awful. You bullied me. And she just literally, there's like magic in this realm. She casts like time magic to make herself go faster. And she just puts on these gloves and she just starts beating the absolute stockings out of everybody. And I was like, yes, this is a huge surprise and that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Right.
But like the general story is like, she had to be betrothed to this prince guy for her family and he was awful to her and she didn't want to do it. But like the prince that she's betrothed to, there's two princes. One was the younger one, which some people favor because he allows the illegal stuff like the slave market and stuff like that. And there's these evil aristocrats. Right. And then there's her older brother, who is like people favor because they're like, if he's in charge, there'll be law and order. So he won't allow stuff like the slave market. And then the other corrupted aristocrats want the stuff like the slave market. But he starts to get interested in her. And he's like, maybe you could be my fiance. I'll romance you. And she's like, and it seems like, oh, maybe it's going to be a romance story between her and him. But he's immediately like, you're a really interesting project. And she's like, I'm not a fucking project. Fuck you. I'm not interested in you, sort of thing. So it's like, okay, it kind of bucks trends. Like it makes you think it's going one way and it's like it goes the other sort of thing. But yeah, basically she beats the shit out of everyone. She's like, my life's over. I've just beat the shit out of the prince. And then she wakes up and somebody's trying to murder her actually when she wakes up with a knife. Classic Sander reference. And she captures her and stops her, and it turns out like the corrupted aristocrats have started sending assassins to try and kill her, but she's with the blonde prince, the older prince now, who's the law and order one. He's basically like, don't worry, you're not in trouble. You basically helped us out. We're trying to seed out all these corrupted aristocrats. I need your help in order to go around and find all the corrupted aristocrats, get the dirt on them, and beat the shit out of them. And that's the show, Tony. That's May I Ask for One More Thing. I need your help, basically. Right. I was like, yeah, I could watch this. I thought this was going to be a really boring shoujo fucking aristocrat show, but it's actually like an interesting show about this woman who is supposed to be this like dainty, rich aristocrat woman, but her real passion in life is just beating people up. That's what she wants to do, but she's not allowed to because of society.
Right. That sounds somewhat interesting, yeah.
So yeah, I watched. So there's 2 episodes out of My Hero Academia, the final season. I have watched 6 or 7 seasons of My Hero Academia dubbed, but the dub is not out for My Hero Academia yet. So I'm going to be waiting for the dub to come out, which I think should be next week, where the dub will start for that. So I'll watch it because like sometimes I'll switch to the subbed version of a show if I've seen like a season of it. But like, I know all of the characters and their voices through like 6 or 7 seasons of this show, so I think it's worth waiting for the dub because the dub's good. So because like I haven't watched a lot of the big like One Punch Man comes out today, I think. Like One Punch Man is one of the season 3 is one of the later airing shows this season, so hopefully I'm talking about that. I'm not sure if honestly. There was like a recap episode they put out for what happened in season 2, and I'm like, oh, I'll watch that when the episode 1 comes out so I can remember what happened. I don't remember a goddamn thing about what happened in season 2 of One Punch Man. I'm just like, I have vague memories of season 1 because like One Punch Man season 1 came out in like 10 years ago now, and we're now in season 3, and I'm just like, I have vague memories, but I really like One Punch Man. I think it's one of the better like comedy shonen, battle shonen shows, right? Where it's like the gimmick is that he defeats everyone in one punch, and that's kind of but it's like, well, what do you do if you defeat every enemy as one punch, but you live in a world that doesn't respect you? And we get great characters like Moomin Rider, who is like one of my favorite characters, where Moomin Rider in One Punch Man is basically like, he's a guy on a bicycle and he cycles to crime and he fights people, but he has no hero superpowers, but he's technically a higher ranked superhero than Saitama, who is the most powerful being in the universe, and everybody loves Moomin Rider, and that's the joke, is he's just a guy on a bicycle, and I love Moomin Rider. But yeah, I absolutely adore One Punch Man. I'm very excited to see the new season of it. I watched half of Spy X Family in Japanese because the dub's not out yet. So I was like, okay, I'll give the sub a go, because I've watched 2 seasons of Spy X Family and the film in the dubbed version, and I watched half of it, and I was like, yeah, I'm kind of getting taken out by this. I really like the dub of Spy X Family. I love like Lloyd's voice, and especially Anya as well. Anya, the little girl, like in the dub version, she's like, "We're going on an outing. We're going out." I love the dub for that show. So like, I'm already gonna have to wait a couple of weeks for My Hero Academia's dubbed. So I might as well just wait for the Spy X Family dub as well, because I'm already going to be behind on My Hero Academia. So, because last season I don't think I watched anything delayed dubbed. I just watched everything subbed, and if it had a simul dub, I watched the simul dub. But it's like this season I'm watching I think everything subbed, everything that has a simul dub dubbed, and then I'm going to be waiting for Spy X Family and My Hero Academia. And then I will see you with One Punch Man, because I honestly don't remember if I watched One Punch Man dubbed or subbed, but that probably means I'll just watch it subbed, because I don't have memories of the voice acting. But that's, Tony, You are finally free to go from Joe rants about anime for. Wait, actually, there's one more thing I just remembered.
One more. Is this a Jackie Chan?
One more thing. Uncle needs his tea. Quentin Tarantino. So if you don't know, in Kill Bill, the film, there's a sequence with Lucy Liu, and in the Kill Bill films, they have they went to Studio IG, who's like one of the OG like anime studios, and Quentin Tarantino apparently is a huge anime fan. And during the Kill Bill films, there's this whole like backstory sequence for Lucy Liu's character in Kill Bill that is completely animated. It's this great little anime sequence. And they were like, oh, for the Bloody Affair, which is basically taking the two Kill Bill films together and putting them together as one film, they're going to add new anime sequences. But it turns out it was too expensive, or Studio IG was like too busy to do it. Because they said like, doing the short anime sequence in the original film, it took them like years to do it, and it was quite expensive. Like anime is fucking lengthy and expensive to make. I don't think a lot of people realize this because it's all hand drawn, like 2D animation. Like it's really laborious stuff. But they're going to re-release Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair in theaters, and the theater version will have a brand new 8-minute long anime sequence. So, Tony, there's more Kill Bill anime coming. So there's an announcement for that.
Coming soon.
Should we talk about? Let's do. It's just trailers, a little bit of news and state of play. So on trailers, we have a new trailer for Voxel Duke Nukem. Do you remember I showed Voxel Doom?
Yes.
Which was adding 3D voxels to Doom. The same modder is back, and he's made a voxel version of Duke Nukem, one of my favorite boomer shooters. Loved playing this game as a kid. I actually think voxel Duke Nukem looks a lot better than it did on Doom. I feel like Duke Nukem is a better game for the voxel style. I feel like it fits a lot better.
I saw the voxels in Doom, but I think you're right. I think it does. I think it is better.
But yeah, we have no release date for this or how it's going to be coming out, but I will be playing it when it comes out. I will absolutely love to play Duke Nukem again. And Tony, we have an announcement of the Game of the Year. Bop It, the video game, is officially
here. It is.
I guess the idea is that you just you can have different boppets and you can just twist it and pull it.
Why is this not a Switch game?
Yeah, people were saying like, yeah, you could buy this or you could just buy a boppet and you might have a better experience. I guess I actually think there is on the Nintendo Switch, by the way.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But
their control.
I do think there is like a value to having like a boppet button on a computer. Like easily accessible and having different boppets easily accessible. I don't think this is definitely not going to be a game I buy and play, right? But I do think there is like a market for this sort of thing, like a niche market. But the idea that you can have like an easy to use like little fidget toy on your computer.
I know, but it's not actually. I feel like there's more to like having a tactile fidget toy than on the computer. I feel
Instead of walking around, walking around Stormwind on World of Warcraft while you talk to your friends, or stacking blocks on top of each other, or jumping from block to block on Minecraft, you could be hitting the boppet while you talk to your friends,
Just buy a Beyblade and start doing some spinning.
Start ripping is the term, Tony. Come on, we're not animals. Let it rip. Let it rip. Let's move on to quick news, Tony. Oh, they fixed Mario Kart World. I literally tested this as soon as I saw this. So my two biggest complaints about Mario Kart World were, one, there was no way to track which blue switches and peach coins you required. And number two, there was no way to play online knockout tour with a friend. If I was playing local split screen, we could both queue up into an online knockout tour lobby. Or if I queued up with my friend online, we would have to play against bots in an offline knockout tour lobby. Now, I've tested both of these. I've queued up with my friend. We have both played in the same online knockout tour lobby. It's really fucking fun. Knockout Tour, one of the best multiplayer game mode in the new Mario Kart game, in my opinion. And Tony, I have 367. How many blue switches are there, Mario? It's a weird number.
Yeah.
I have all
Why
of
make
them.
a round number?
It's like 394 or something. Yeah, 394, isn't it? So I can now open the map and I can see all 394 blue P switches. But when I was doing all the P switches, I was like, I can't be bothered with peach coins because there's no way to track them and there's no like mission gameplay like the P switches. But now I'm like, I can actually track the peach coins in the game. I might actually go and try and collect all the peach coins now, which is pretty cool to see. And also, Tony, when you can see the blue P switches, you can just hover over them and you can teleport to that mission and play it, which is really cool. Because I was like, oh, I absolutely adore this blue P switch mission. I'm just going to play that one over and over again, which is really cool. So yeah, genuinely, this is a small change, but they've made Mario Kart World so much better to a point where I'm like, actually, like brings my rating of the game up. Like I'm actually, no, this is legit.
Because I think it's like when we did, was it Tangerine or was it just on the podcast that we're talking about it?
Yeah,
it's like if you could track it, it'd be for more like a normal game where you could like try and complete these challenges.
Yeah, and you can now, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Then more quick news. Oh, Habbo Hotel Origins is on Steam, Tony.
Origin.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be. It just says they're bringing it back. I don't know if it's going to be like a classic version of Habbo Hotel or if they're just bringing it back as like a Steam thing. But I can say for sure, Tony, I am banned from Habbo Hotel. I will not be allowed to play this. It sounds like I wasn't the only person who got banned from Habbo Hotel. Somebody said, I used to go to town asking businesses if I could use their phone to call my mum. Little did they know I was calling Habbo's 1-900 number to get Habbo credits, which would get billed directly to their phone. Good times. Somebody said, lol, same, but I was taking my mum's phone and hide. I used to, I didn't. So mobile phones were built to you would call a 1-800 number or whatever, right? And it would get billed to your mobile phone plan. I wanted to have a hotel credit so I could buy memberships so I could get sofas. And my phone was tied to my dad's credit card. And I would call this number and I'm like, it's free money. Every time I call, I just get sofas and have a hotel. What is going on? I'm a kid. I don't understand what's happening. And then my dad's like, yeah, why is there like a 80 to £100 charge on my fucking phone bill? I'm like, oh no. This Habbo Hotel business has caught up with me. And he's like, right, that's it. You are banned from playing Habbo Hotel ever again. And to this day, I've never played Habbo Hotel again. I've been banned. So... do you think I'm allowed to play Habbo Hotel Origins? That's the question.
No,
I'm still.
You don't put yourself with a credit card. You can't do a Habbo Hotel.
I guess I'm still banned. Well, speaking of terrible financial decisions, Starbreeze has increased the price of Payday's 2 Infamous Collection of all its DLC. But don't worry, Tony. Not only have they increased the price of its DLC bundle, but they now have a new offer where you can pay £4 a month to subscribe to the DLC bundle.
Yeah,
so you won't own any of the DLC, but for £4 a month, you'll be able to play all the DLC.
Yeah.
What an absolutely awful dystopian future we live in. This just does not. This seems awful. Like I was figuring it out. I was like, man, you would have to subscribe for so little time that it would be so much more worth buying the DLC, especially on sale.
Yep.
This seems like not a great business, like a financial decision for people, but people will fall for it, I think.
Yeah, I would. If there's a system of like you could like slowly own it, but like while you're paying it, you have access to all of it, but then eventually you own it all, but then obviously they make less money from that. I just hate the I hate subscription service stuff. Like,
oh, Tony,
if you're receiving something like a service like the internet bill or electricity, like it makes sense. Leave it.
You want to talk about more changes to subscription services because Microsoft's coming big here. Game Pass is getting more expensive and worse. So we have the new. I basically said like the Ultimate Edition of Game Pass. If you don't have a console, makes no sense because there is no benefit to being an Ultimate. You have access to all the games. You have access to day one. You don't.
Yeah, it was a
other
bad
than
upsell. Right?
Ultimate had cloud gaming on it. That was the only thing that you could only get on the Ultimate, and then it had some DLCs like the Persona 3 Reload DLC was on the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah.
Now they're like, oh yeah, shit. There is no reason to buy the Ultimate Edition. Let's make the base edition worse, so you have to buy the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah. I've been expecting this because it made sense not to do this.
If you have the regular edition of Games Pass, you will not get day one games anymore. I was already talking about how you weren't getting day one games already previously because of the way that they were doing like the pay for early access stuff through like Steam and Epic and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, it's awful.
But now you if you have the normal edition, you'll only get the games within a launch of new Xbox published games. They've added cloud gaming to every single tier. So you have cloud gaming now, which seems like some shit you didn't want, but now you have as like a quote unquote trade, a benefit. And then did you hear they've also nerfed Xbox the Microsoft points reward system, so you can't like keep buying Game Pass with like their like bidding reward system as well. They're like really
again makes sense. I didn't know how it worked, but
I never used it myself.
Like
but
they're trying to get as much money instead of people.
But like
redoing it.
So the Ubisoft and EA Play stuff was included with Game Pass. You now have to subscribe to the Ultimate Edition because it says 200 plus games on Premium, 400 plus games on Ultimate.
Yeah.
I don't. So I'm assuming a lot of those are the Ubisoft and the EA games that are no longer included. But I know specifically, Tony, the premium version, like the base edition of Game Pass now, doesn't include Call of Duty. So you can't get you have to have the Ultimate Edition with Call of Duty. They basically said, oh shit, we put Call of Duty on Game Pass and we lost so many sales from people not buying the game and basically playing it on Game Pass, which my rebuttal to them would be, I played it on Game Pass, but I would not have bought Call of Duty if it wasn't available on Game Pass.
And like, the recurring thing.
Someone playing it on Game Pass does not equal full game sale lost. I would not have bought the game otherwise.
No, but again, they just want to try and push people to the middle tier, right? It sounds like.
But don't worry, Tony. They're like, oh, we're making Ultimate better. We're making it so you get access to Fortnite Crew, which gives you benefits for Fortnite, like free V-Bucks.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I'm like, I don't care about Fortnite Crew. And I don't care about cloud gaming, so it's just making it worse for me.
But again, I fully expected this. That it didn't make sense that they'd be able to, or even if they could maintain it, which I could believe that is possible. I just feel like it's too tempting for them to not change. Now they've like got people using it already. Although I don't know why people like. Surely they're going to lose so many customers. That I don't understand.
I see so many people unsubscribing. I mean, it's like you need to get at least one of these if you own an Xbox because you need it for the online, right? For the online console you would have to get at least essentials for the online console multiplayer.
Yeah.
But at least
you get all those benefits on top of that.
But it feels like Xbox is just Microsoft has just been walking on rakes for the past year or two repeatedly, like. Oh, our best studio, who just made a game of the year, we're shutting them down. We're axing all of these studios. We don't care about Xbox anymore. We're a Game Pass company that is making Game Pass worse and more expensive. We're going to release a handheld PC that is going to be really expensive. And our future strategy going forward seems to be like a publisher.
Yeah.
We don't.
I just Well, Microsoft is one of the worst companies at the moment. I have to say, it's just awful.
Now, this is for Xbox Game Pass, but this doesn't include, from what I could tell, this doesn't include PC Games Pass. So I think PC Game Pass is staying the same. But I'm wondering for how long.
From what I remember, didn't they do like the last round of changes? They did the Xbox version first, and then the PC got this very similar change later.
Because Xbox's messaging right now is this is an Xbox. This PC handheld is an Xbox.
Yeah,
you're then saying to somebody like, "Hey, do you want to spend a bunch of money on hardware and buy an Xbox, or do you want this Asus ROG handheld PC where you can get PC Game Pass, which is cheaper and has more features?" And it's just like, why do I want an Xbox again?
What are you doing?
It's just like, what? But yeah, I mean, I unsubscribed from Game Pass the start of this year, and I don't have any plans on going back, especially after this news. So
yeah,
like the one thing I miss from not having Game Pass is the day one games, and I'm not buying Xbox. Yeah, it's like I wouldn't like this year. I would like to play Doom: The Dark Ages, but I'm not going to spend 60 quid on Doom: The Dark Ages. I'll wait for it to go on sale. Like, if I had Game Pass, I would play it on Game Pass day one.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, I'm not going to spend a ridiculous amount of money on it, and I'm not going to subscribe. It's like, what? It's like £30 a month or something for the Ultimate tier.
That's insane.
So look, it must be somewhere around there. So look, if I go on to the £23 a month, it seems like for 1 month.
Okay,
it's still pretty expensive.
Yeah, and that's not just the starting price. That is like its continuous price.
That's what it is on the Microsoft website I'm looking at.
Okay.
But again, they've already cracked down on being like, hey, past this date, you won't be able to use like prepaid cards, which was also another way of saving a lot of money on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So it's just going to get really expensive. Oh, I don't know if you heard about this, Tony. EA got bought in like a big $55 billion deal by like a private equity company.
Yep.
So
awfully Singapore the IPs.
EA's gone private.
Yeah, it's like a private equity company controlled by like other big corporations.
I mean, the only other like big company that was big-ish like it's a lot smaller company, but like I remember RuneScape has been bought several times by like private equity companies.
Yeah, well, but I think it's another Microsoft thing. I think Microsoft has partly controlled this equity company.
Right. Okay.
It was like I think this guy was Nexus video talking about it on his second channel. I didn't watch it because I saw like bits and bobs on another news site before. I might give it a watch. They might get into more detail. But like I saw it in the description. I mean, I read the YouTube comments, so I basically watched the video, right?
Yeah.
But that's also like one of his things was saying it's like a really shady way of like just buy up IP. It's like a lot of money being thrown around. And that is one thing that annoys me with like antitrust things is like no managing or thinking about IP control. I think that's just so important.
Yeah, I mean the only like EA thing coming out kind of recent, like soon that I was interested in was the Plants vs Zombie remaster they're doing. It's like next week, the 23rd of October. It's coming out.
Does it mean they own their own Titanfall? They own Plants vs Zombies. They own
a couple week and a half.
They own Need for Speed. They own Sims. They own they own a lot of stuff.
Battlefield just came out. Oh, I forgot. We didn't do releases. There's no time for releases, but Battlefield 6 just came out from EA.
Yeah, but saying like I think the I don't really care much about the EA stuff coming out, but like, they hold a lot of IP. Like that's what I care about. Not it's kind of tricky because like if they were forced to sell the IP to other people, that like would that not be better, or like let the other companies like get themselves out? I don't know how viable that is, but I don't know. It just seems like a corporation buying corporations for just controlling everything.
Yeah, I didn't have much to say about this other than I don't think it's a good look, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and the classic mainstream news is like, oh, what do you think this cash injection is going to do? It's like, what? No, don't listen to the business bullshit. Like, it's not.
So we had
It's not anything.
we had recently State of Play. So we had a couple of trailers shown off here. We have Saros: The New Dawn. This is essentially the new House marquee game. So it's essentially Returnal 2. It seems like, but with like different theming. It seems very much like a sequel in Returnal in all but name. But the interesting thing is, like, the first Returnal was like the first Returnal was very hardcore. Like, you would lose progression on death, and it was more like it was just like roguelite stuff where you like you can save permanent progression and get stronger. From the gameplay they showed of this, they confirmed like you will get stronger when you die. Like there will be some sort of progression in this game.
Yeah, okay.
So it seems like it'll be like more forgiving than the first Returnal game. But I thought this game looked pretty cool. I mean, I own Returnal on Steam, so and maybe I'll play it. I want to play it.
How do you play it as well?
Yeah. Well, currently on my like Halloween list, I was like, I want to play Alan Wake, and I want to play Alan Wake 2, but it's only on Epic. So I was like, just release it on Steam, and then I'll play it there.
Release the Steam edit.
Yeah, release the Steam cut.
Yeah.
Then we got a trailer for Wolverine, the Marvel Wolverine game by Insomniac. They've been working on those Spider-Man games. I think I said Short King looks good. That's always a joke that in the comic books Wolverine's short, and he does look quite short in this game compared to some of the characters he's fighting, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say about this game is it's like they did not hold back on the violence. This game looks very like you have Wolverine shoving his claws through somebody's face. Like
dismemberment.
They were like, what do we know about Wolverine? He's a wild animal. Like he rips people up. Like they did not hold back on that. And like if it's a similar quality of Insomniac's other games, I think this could be really cool. I mean, we've only really seen like cinematic gameplay of this, so we don't really have a super strong sense of what it's going to play like, but I trust Insomniac at this point for the most part, so I think it looks pretty cool, right?
I can't imagine that translating Spider-Man, I mean, I'm probably going to change it, but like adapting that idea to Wolverine should be simple or easier.
So then we had a bit of a controversial one here, Deus Ex Remastered. So you could have chosen the good path. You could have given Deus Ex to Night Dive, and you could have had them made a really nice, good-looking remaster. But they chose Aspyr, who's been doing like the They did like the Battlefront. They did the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
People liked what they did with Tomb Raider. I will give them props for the Tomb Raider remaster that they did.
I think there's some issues with there's some like missing things they could have done though. So still kind of like some negatives even with that. But yeah, that's a good one.
But yeah, the way they remastered this was like it reminds me of like the GTA Definitive Edition, where it's just like everything looks like very shiny and almost like waxy. Like everything.
But the art style looks different.
Almost like everything looks like they just made everything super reflective. So like all the new lights they've added just shine off everything, and it just makes everything look like plastic dolls almost. I don't know. Maybe I'll play this, but I don't know. I have to wait and see. We got a new Halloween game, continuing the tradition of only ever turning horror IPs into isometric horror, Dead by Daylight style games. I mean, I did briefly play the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one. I think it's made by the same people as well as the Chainsaw Massacre one. But yeah, I would like to see, like, I think it looks good, but I feel like it's might just be like a forgettable game once, you know, the multiplayer scene kind of dies down a bit for it, right? I mean, Michael Myers is one of my favorite killers to play in Dead by Daylight, but I want to see more like of these big horror IPs make like what a single player game looks like, where you play as a
or
killer,
even co-op, or even like a co-op
even as a
thing.
survivor. Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not a My Player Go or like a compared to My Player Go, so it doesn't interest me unless there's something else going on with it. So
Oh, we got an announcement of a Dynasty Warriors 3 remaster. I was very confused because it's called like Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition. I was like, where does this have multiple games? But it's like, nope. It has Dynasty Warriors 3, which is called like the Complete Edition or something.
I assume they want you to think there's multiple games in it. I assume that's the reason.
But yeah, this is coming to PS5 and it's coming to Steam as well. Dynasty Warriors is one of those games where I'm just like, I want to get into them, but I never have. Because I like hack and slashy games with like huge armies.
I think it's one of the things with like older ones are better, or like the Zelda one is like the crossover.
I have both of the Zelda ones, so I can play those.
So I think those are better made.
And then finally we have Chronoscript: The Endless End. I thought this looked, it's from Squeaker Games. I thought this looked really cool. It looked like it's like a 2D action adventure game where you exist as like ink inside a book. I thought the art style was really strong for this. I thought maybe it was Metroidvania, but the description said it was a action adventure game. So that's sort of the style they're going for here. But I thought the art direction was really strong. I think it looks really good. So if the gameplay can be as strong as the art design, then it's definitely one to look at, right? It reminds me of the Plucky Squire, where it feels like you're looking into this book and you have like the real world outside of it, right? Which I thought was pretty cool. We also had Tokyo Game Show, Tony, but the only big thing that I saw that was announced was Microsoft was like, hey, there will be a Forza Horizon 6 and it will be in Japan. So we're going to announce it at Tokyo Game Show, but show absolutely nothing about it.
Right.
That's what they announced. But yeah, that was everything that was announced at State of Play. But let's move on to the ending. Then the podcast, you can check us out youtube.com /at everything in between podcast if you want to watch the VODs or tangerines. Twitch.tv/scorn if you want to watch live. Shows.cast.com /everything in between podcast. There'll be links to the Spotify and Apple podcast versions, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.